do it if you want.
Whoa!
Hey, this song,
to the Friendly Geordies podcast.
we got the tune still blasting. There we go.
I'm a bit rusty, as you can imagine. How's everyone doing? We've got a very special guest on today. You can't see him. Jordan, do you want to do the introduction for your podcast?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce Wollongong's finest export.
You got
Oh, for Christ's sakes. I gave you a visual cue to point.
There you go. It's he's on.
God, fuck Ali. Well, this is a triumphant return, isn't it? And you ruined my gag. I was going to say it was Frenchy.
Well, yeah, I think it was on the tip of everyone's tongue.
Everyone was going to say it. But
No, they all know. I said the hint one, the chat was he's French, and they all said, "Is Michael Cusack French?"
They knew.
oh,
They
is
knew.
that what? Okay.
The real
well,
truth is Frenchie and Michael Cusack are the same person. It's me.
No way.
Yeah,
That's my
imagine
Sacha
that.
Baron Cohen character that I do.
I mean, it is basically the Damo and Darren guy that he's animated and rotoscoped around. Same thing.
Hell yeah.
Now, before we go on and like, we're very glad that you're here, Michael.
Thank you
but
very
also,
much, Michael,
like, we
for
just have
coming on
to
the pod.
acknowledge we do have a new set, so it hasn't all been a waste of time over the last 4 months, and we're just
Yes.
going to shut up about that last 4 months, okay?
Well, first of all, thank you. I feel like thank you for having me too. I didn't say that too.
Welcome.
It's great to be here.
Welcome, man.
Hello.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah, thanks for.
Pleasure to meet.
I got so many questions about it as well. So many questions.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. Thank you for the coffee. Thank you
See.
for the nice couches, and it's so good to be here with the 70 viewers. Is it?
I think it's 70 live,
we
That's
went
where you're
on.
wrong. 90.
Oh,
shit.
90. Hello, all of you.
which is pretty good for.
that is-
Listen,
it's
I have.
not, but
well,
like-
listen. I have my own Twitch page, and when we clock 10, I'm like, it's a record.
Dude, I would get.
So comparing to that, we're killing it.
Yeah,
I've
but
actually
if
never done something
we're
like this.
comparing it to
Really?
that, then we're
Well, like
killing
as in
ourselves.
on my own, so I have no idea. Like I'd probably get like 5. I've never done like a live thing. I'd be too scared. I'd just be worried.
Yeah.
About, like,
You've
three-
done
I haven't done like live
something.
thing, not Twitch.
Like in front of an audience or.
Well, the most I did is probably like play a video game on Twitch for like 10 minutes and then just see what happened. Like I think I played like Half-Life 2 or something.
What
Just,
happened?
like,
What happened?
Posted on Twitch. I think like five people came in and I was like, "Hello, I'm playing a video game. All right, goodbye," and just went off.
Well, you got scared.
Yeah, I got a bit scared. Yeah. I just was like testing the waters.
Was it the old school Half-Life 2?
No, yeah, the original. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. How good's that game?
I love it. It's a very spiritual game for me.
You know
Why
those
is
things.
that? Why does everyone like that? Because
I
I've
think
never
it was just
watched
because it was like it changed, like the graphics like bumped up a lot from that point. Like the games before it was like GoldenEye was like amazing graphics, but then
Really?
2004 like that. Yeah, like it was a big, huge. It was like a oh my god, this is real life. I'm playing in real life. It's a video game. That's what it felt like as a kid. And you had to get like a really good video card. I remember like I got a Radeon 9700 or something. It was like, oh, I can use this to play Half-Life 2. I don't know if kids would feel like that about anything now. Well, I sound like a fucking idiot. Do kids feel like video games the way I felt? Like?
No, but wouldn't they?
No,
like,
no,
True,
yeah,
though.
aren't there like really expensive laptops and PCs that are better for gaming?
Yeah, but I just wonder if it's plateaued more in terms of like graphics, like the next step. Like, don't you feel like video games have kind of reached this point where it's kind of has been the
Apex.
same?
Yeah.
for the
Yeah,
last-
you can't
and-
improve anymore. I don't want
Yeah,
GTA
the
to
next
get
level
better.
after this
Me
is just
neither.
Jumanji, isn't it? That's it.
What, like real
You're
life?
just in it,
Yeah.
and like if you
Yeah,
die, you
VR.
die.
True.
That's about it.
True. Yeah, pretty much. You're
Why
right.
do you think that is? Why have we? You're right about that, but why?
I think it's. I don't like. I think it's because like you get closer to something. It's like that. What is that straight line maths thing? Like you get closer and then you can't fully reach it. The uncanny valley gets less and less and less, but then it gets slower to get there. Like, is that? Am I talking absolute
No, no,
nonsense?
I
when
think-
But wait,
Yeah,
is there
that
an
is
end game
Do you know
to
what,
games?
Well, do you know what I mean? Like, it's trying. Video games are trying to look like real
And
life.
it's like ironically that bomb game. That's the final.
That's the
Which
final
one? Which one?
stage.
the one you just walk around going drop bombs and blow shit.
Bomber Man.
yeah, Bomber Man.
The pinnacle of video games.
Can you imagine if like it came out? It's like this is the
pinnacle. It's
ultimate
yeah,
game.
Dude, that's my Half-Life. That's a spiritual game to me.
But yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's like video games kind of look like a simulation of real life, but it's like that got that uncanny thing where it's not fully real, and then how close to whatever AI.
No,
will
I
figure it
totally
out.
get that. Because I feel like in our generation, like how old are you?
I'm 33.
Yeah, so same age. Like our generation, I feel like, you know, you get like you said, like when a game 2 years apart, the graphics would improve so much. It would be like, and also like because it was such a big deal, it was kind of like this is part of my life and my identity. It's like, you know, like it's like such a huge deal.
It's so lame. But when I was like 14, I got into those kind of video game comics like Control Alt Delete and Penny Arcade. I don't know if you guys know those kind of. It's like video game culture, nerd culture, and I'd go on like websites that have like nerd. Like, I'm a coder. I think of code in the shower. And, like, I thought that was so cool. Even though I wasn't a coder or anything, I just thought nerd culture was cool as a 14-year-old. And I remember buying Doom 3 when it came out the box. And I wanted to get, like, a photo of me with it, but looking like all like, my precious. Like, and I must have taken, like, 50 photos to get, like, the perfect, like...
With the
precious,
new male smile.
Yeah, like, I have my new video game, my Bible. For some reason, that stuck in my head as like the defining moment of my like lameness as a kid. I think I made it like my MySpace.
Doom
photo.
3
Yeah,
is
that
a
is
good
That's
like
amazing.
pinnacle of that,
Yeah.
isn't it? You breached the uncanny valley.
Yeah,
for that.
yeah, exactly. I
That's
actually didn't
incredible.
love Doom 3. It was like the same hallway over and over. But it was like around that Half-Life 2 time. But
Did you guys think
Yeah,
GTA
people- yeah, I
4 was a
remember that.
game changer?
5, I thought was.
Wait, which one was the first one that wasn't like from the Google?
Three.
It was
Uh,
three.
Three. Yeah,
Three.
when GTA 1 and 2 was still top down, then 3 was the one where I was like, holy shit, like that was insane that it was like that.
Wait, are you talking about San Andreas or Vice City?
the 3?
No, it's just called
3 is
It's
just
called
separate.
GTA
no,
3.
the fifth one, the one that you thought was a game.
Oh
changer.
yeah, well, I mean that was just a game changer because I didn't play 4. That's why. So
Oh,
I went
okay.
from GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, straight to 5. I skipped 4.
Because I think the only innovation in the fifth one was I think you could have sex with the whores.
You could do. Maybe you're right. I forgot. I thought you could do that in San Andreas. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you
No,
can,
wasn't the innovation like
Yeah.
you can go in speedboats, you could go in helicopters, and
Yeah.
now you
You
can ride
can
a
say-
bicycle.
How cool!
it's fucking funny. Oh shit.
All right, look, we've got.
Dude, I had photos of Pierce Brosnan on my wall. You can't get more cringe than that. I was like, oh, Pierce.
Yeah. I was the same.
I don't know, man. That's pretty sick today.
Oh,
It
Pierce.
gets cooler the older you get.
But it wasn't even. It was
More
like
clashing.
No, but it was like from like magazine cutouts, like OK magazine, like Pierce with his hot wife in France, 2001. I was like,
That's fine.
Wow,
You're a
and you were
007
sitting
fan.
there as a teenage boy saying, he's such a dreamboat.
I'm assuming you're like a James Bond fan.
Goldeneye,
That's what-
of course.
Goldeneye.
Yeah, that would be
that's fine.
very worrying if I'm like, I loved him in Mamma
Yeah,
Mia.
yeah, exactly. Have you seen him 007? No, I don't want to watch that.
He'll
That would
ruin Mamma
it
Mia
for me.
for
That would ruin Mamma Mia.
my parents just walked by. I was like, something wrong with that kid. There's something wrong with that kid. No,
What
it's
a great
it's-
wall you had.
It was that, and
Who else did you have? Some other 70s hunk?
I had
Who's the guy with the moustache and the chest hair walking out of the water? There's always that iconic photo, and it's not David
I don't
Hasselhoff.
know.
But I bet you.
No, I had Pierce Brosnan, and then I had like a random rogue Siphon Filter poster.
Right, that's cool.
Remember Siphon
Yeah,
Filter?
yeah, yeah.
My man.
Yeah, I had a Britney Spears poster and a South Park poster.
Perfect.
Now that's a
classic.
2002
Yeah.
teenage room.
And a
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead like smoking weed poster that I didn't really understand, but I think my dad got it from like the markets or something. It's like one of those weird off-brand, like they definitely not Beavis and Butthead endorsed. You like
Not until, yeah, like made in China, designed in
Yeah,
China.
designed in
you
China.
could be that when you grow up, Michael.
yeah, this is what you should be aspiring to.
Yeah.
Stealing
you
something
did.
that's clearly
Yeah, exactly. I
under
already
copyright.
did.
I also had the Batman Forever poster, which is a classic.
Right, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Batman Forever is the one that's done by the clearly closeted gay director.
Yeah,
right?
the one
Yes.
with Nicole Kidman being like,
I'm
"Oh,
Poison Ivy.
Which
that
is-
one.
yeah,
Uma
she's not."
Thurman.
No, Nicole Kidman is not that film. You're getting them wrong. You're getting them
Okay,
mixed
all
up,
right.
but it's fine. Yeah.
The point is, I'm very glad that your entire room was filled
Liberace.
with pinups for 40-year-old
My whole room. That's so amazing.
What was your poster?
What did you? I don't know why.
Is the chat saying their poster from their wall?
Look, they're sending some questions for you. Some of them are. Let's start with the light one because one of them I just don't understand. Michael, would you rather have the ability to be invisible but never come, or fly and poop on whoever you want?
How's that a light question?
Fly and poop. I don't like saying poop. Fly and poo on anyone that I wanted. I'm overcoming. I think I've reached that age where I jerk off to fall asleep, and sex is something that like is kind of like okay.
A chore?
A little bit. I mean,
it's
I've just reached that. I think I've reached
Simpsons
that age.
reruns.
Are you
better.
single or are you?
I've got a girlfriend.
You've got a girlfriend.
Yeah,
okay.
she knows. She knows.
No, that's fine. It does happen.
But really, like joking, like coming right now is like more like I'm in bed rolling around. I'm like, oh, what's the best way to go to sleep? That'll probably help. Fuck. And
Yeah.
Oh my
Nature's
God.
sleeping pill.
How romantic.
then with her next to me, yeah.
Yeah. Looking at that old
yeah, no.
Beavis and Butthead post.
Single tear.
Shitting definitely. I mean, how great would that be? But I don't know who I'd choose. I'd probably just when I need the shit, I'd just fly to make it interesting and just shit down on the
Yeah,
ground.
and you could choose anyone you want.
Yeah, I don't even know if it
Could
would
be
be
a person.
I think I'll just shit on the ground, just up in the clouds.
Oh my God, you're gonna just be a normal bird.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That just seems very
Normal bird
freeing.
shit on you though.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that prank on YouTube? Some assholes gave all of these seagulls at the beach digestives.
Oh.
And so then they just started shitting on everyone at the beach.
Oh, that's horrible.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Pretty mad
I,
prank.
I blame the internet for that. They filmed
Yeah.
that for sure.
I've got a seagull shitting question. So I'm making a new Damo and Darren episode right now, and I've got a bit about seagulls with Panadol, because I don't know if you guys experienced this at your collective primary schools or high schools, but did you have that rumor told to you by a
Year 6.
year 6 type character that would say, if you give a seagull Panadol, it makes them explode.
Yes.
And it'd
yes.
freak everyone out.
Ours was Maggi Noodles. I was told that if you give pigeons Maggi Noodles, their stomachs explode.
Right, I didn't.
Wow, what a
Did you get
North
the-
Shore
but did you get
variant
the
of
Panadol?
rice that is. It's the closest thing that you people have to like Asians. Yes,
Did you get the
Maggi
Panadol thing?
Oriental.
Right.
I didn't know the Panadol thing.
So
No,
this,
it's a Bogan thing. The Panadol thing's a Bogan thing.
I didn't know
It
that.
is.
Yeah. We had the fancy version.
Right. So did you have it at your school then?
Yeah.
So it was just some schools and not, because it seems like it was national, but not fully, because some people know it and some don't. So
Yeah.
it must have been like one of
Yeah.
those weird like rumors that hit some. I thought it was like handball, like it'd be similar.
Man, I'm telling you, it's an Aussie public school rumor.
Yeah.
I went
that
to
rumor is for.
I went to a
like,
Catholic primary
Oh,
school.
right.
went to a Catholic school in the North Shore with all these little
course.
skater shitheads, and like
Yeah.
they just lived off Maggi noodles and Slurpees, and so that's the only thing that they had to. That's the closest thing. It's like when you go to natives and you try and explain to them what a ship is or something, and you have to be like
Right.
canoe. You know, the closest thing. That's what they had.
Got
That's
it.
the closest thing they had to Panadol.
So everything not as like a private school like that would have had the Panadol thing, assuming in Australia.
Yeah, dude.
I love that rumor spread. And I'm like, it isn't true, obviously, but
Isn't
like,
it?
no, but
That's
it wouldn't be
incredible.
great.
Like I
mean,
seriously thought, like, to
well,
this day
it wouldn't be great. Like a seagull probably shouldn't have a Panadol.
Oh, mate,
but-
hang on. Surely a Panadol would kill it. Because
Well,
we
I
can
think-
overdose on Panadols. If
True.
we had like one of those YouTube things like, hey, the world's largest Panadol, we would be the seagull
probably
going,
die.
ah!
I think I googled this once. I think it just makes it sick, but doesn't. I'm just, like lots would probably. I don't know. Let's try.
I think what kills you is like
You're like, I've brought a seagull.
Why would
Yeah,
they even eat
well-
it? It's not even nice.
What's
They're
that?
not going to eat the Panadol.
they wouldn't
You're
eat
going to
it.
have to crush it up
Well, that's
and
the thing.
lace
No,
it.
that was the primary school thing. You had to put them in chips, so,
Ah,
or bread
yes.
or something like.
Yes,
That.
yes,
Crunch it
yes,
up, put it in a
yes.
chip, and give it to you. That makes them explode. Kids are the
God, the Aussie education. No wonder we didn't learn anything in fucking school.
very creative though.
Yeah,
Creative
very.
bunch of kids. And when was that
No,
from like
I
the
learned
50s?
how to like steal money out of my mum's purse so I could buy Zappos.
Hell yeah.
I can't really remember fucking anything else from primary school. Just that,
No.
like shitty, stupid rumors.
I remember
Yeah.
crying
Someone
in maths. That's it.
Hustling a Charizard card off
Yeah.
me. That's about it.
What'd you cry in maths over?
I didn't like maths.
And that you just cried.
Oh, so you
'cause it
just
was
cried because you didn't like it.
Oh.
What a bitch.
It's a soft spot, all right? It's a soft spot.
You're crying because it's like, I don't want to do maths.
No, I was crying because I was like, this is too hard. And not much has changed. Even in high school, I was
It's
just
still
like,
too hard.
well, it's pretty hard.
It is pretty hard.
Were you good
for,
at maths?
for Miss and I, we're both
Me?
maths
No, no, no.
illiterate.
I was maths.
You were good at maths?
No, I
Oh,
was
sorry.
God damn. No, I was not a good student.
Who is good at maths? You
You.
don't meet them.
You, just Indians. That's
No,
it.
what do you, first of all, I wasn't.
You weren't?
I actually cried.
You cried
when
too.
I got it when I would just pass in maths from sheer happiness.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I was
that's a lot
Well, you
more
cried
tough
out of
than.
joy.
It's a lot more tough than my one.
Yeah.
Someone just put
That's
it.
awesome.
I
It's
just
just
start
the
crying.
end of Shawshank Redemption over here.
Yours is so much.
Gets a pass back.
Yours is so much better than mine. As soon as they start doing the long division, I'm like,
Oh, you lost it at long division. No, that much I could do.
no, all of it. I mean, I was young. Fuck.
I do wish I was good at maths though, because it does come into like life so much, especially in just like
Does it?
animation. No, not
You're a
really.
writer
Nah.
and an animator. When
Why
have
the
you ever
fuck
used
do you
maths?
need maths?
Like doing the 1920 by 1080 when you got to make a new like window for.
Oh,
Then
Yeah, but
like
you
to
don't
watch it.
count.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, that's
Exactly.
enough. Yeah.
Come
and I
on.
think now
Isn't
you
that
can just
pathetic?
ask-
I know.
We can count like, dude. This is pathetic. We basically know the alphabet of maths.
Wait a
That's
sec.
it.
Wait a sec. Okay, ultimate Friendly Geordies podcast test that I put all our guests through. What's 6 times 6?
6 times 6. Oh, why am I? All right. I suck. So let me do it. So it's 36.
He got it. He got
yeah.
that. He got that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Who failed?
I just throw it out randomly. I can't remember.
He's never asked that question before.
He does. No, he's so proud of that.
I ask you guys like weekly.
yeah, weekly he asks that.
Is
No,
that-
usually it's 7 sevens.
40.
That's
What's
it.
that?
49. See, this is the thing.
memorized it.
I'm terrible at maths, and my immigrant dad beat the timetables into me. He gave me this book that was like the timetables book. I've seen memes about this, and he literally, it was like a Nazi concentration camp. If I didn't get those, he'd be like, you're going to fail at life, you're going to die,
Yeah.
you're a terrible person, I hate you. And I'm just like, it was so stressful. So I've retained some of the times tables.
Do you think that's a good? That probably was a good. Do you see that as like a net positive now?
No.
Like,
When have I
right.
ever needed to know what 6 times 6 is?
I mean, it's a cool little podcast trivia thing now.
it's a cool thing that my co-host
That he
hates.
introduces
Yeah,
every
right.
podcast so that he can show off.
Yeah, that's him
They
showing
hate it.
off.
That's
Because
my
there's
flex.
no other
That's
podcast
his
that has done
party
that
trick.
trivia.
Yeah,
It's
no.
unique.
Yeah. Yeah, so tattoo them across my body
Yeah.
for girls to see.
Yeah.
What's your answer here?
God, I was the same. That like when doing homework and your dad just yelling at you, just that.
hate
No, just
Yeah.
like not even being able to write.
So you got that?
Oh, yeah, but
my
I-
dad was so
Oh, my goodness.
strict.
I
with
was
that.
just tears was coming
Me
down my face,
too.
just doing
Yeah.
work, just anything like
Horrible.
that. Just even like doing correct handwriting. Like,
Yeah.
No, do it like that. No.
Yeah. God.
I know that seems like it's a.
Is that like a
Common
universal dad thing? My mom used to do that. My dad was really annoying when he used to teach because you'd ask him one question. He's like, Dad, I'm learning, let's say, chemistry, and we're doing something in it. And he's like, well, before you understand chemistry, you must learn physics. So we're going to spend all this time on physics first.
You must.
And I was like, Dad, my exam is tomorrow. I need to do chemistry. Not before physics. And then biology. Then you will understand chemistry properly.
See, here's the thing. I think these days, like, I don't think like Anglo dads would be as hard as like our generation of dads. I feel like it'll
Yeah.
get softer and softer because I really can't see like a millennial dad now just like fucking whipping their kid to do math. It'd be like, any answer is correct, son. I don't think it'd be that hard. And probably like immigrant families
Yeah,
would
they
still,
still are
can
at it,
like
though.
retain that amount of discipline. But
They're immigrant families are having a competition as to whose son gets to be the next prime minister of England.
right.
You know,
That's it's so they're just the stress levels are high. Did you watch that new documentary on Netflix called Jennifer Did It?
no.
It's about like this Asian girl that ends up killing her parents because the stress was just
Oh
too
my
much.
god.
Yeah.
It's insane. You guys should watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still at it's idiocracy, man. Like most of the people, you're right, are in that category, and then there's like a sliver of population that is just still fucking making their kids go.
Do you think
insane.
there's like, which would you rather, like, do you think there's pros to that mentality? But like, obviously, when it goes too far, you get the Netflix documentary. But is it still better than like the opposite, which is like, you don't need to do maths, son, and like 1 plus 1 can equal 36, doesn't matter.
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's dumb. Don't do that. We should be beat your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit him.
Yeah, but like No,
Choose one extreme or the other.
you let your kids discover themselves.
No, I'm kidding. But like,
What's with this Steiner shit?
no. No. I think it's somewhere in the middle of both, right? Like, you need to have discipline, but you can't. Like what we copped was too much. Just being like, you're gonna fail if you don't get your time set. Was like,
I don't think we copped enough.
oh,
Come on, like there's levels. What did we get? We got yelled at scarily.
Yeah.
Our dads got smacked with sacks of potatoes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think our dad's was probably the right level.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Maybe just
You guys are fucked.
Like they were pussies to us. Like the way that we look at millennials.
I mean, that's true.
maybe tone it down like a notch, but they were in the right ballpark.
Okay, sure.
I reckon.
I get that. Maybe you're right. Yeah, you're right. Fuck it. Get the potato sacks back.
Yeah.
Get the potato sacks back.
Let's just put like nectarines in there.
If you look at
instead of-
results, our parents' generation is way more literate than our generation.
Oh, there you
and
go.
the generation after us is even less literate than us.
Well, dude, that says it all.
Yeah, because there's no repercussions.
There's no repercussions.
Of course.
Yeah, that's why.
It's so unnatural for some basic. Like, you've seen children, they do this. They do what chimps do all the time. Like, they're monkeys. Like, do you think that
used
you'd
to
ever
do
teach
that,
a
I-
monkey
yeah,
maths by giving it bananas? You smack the shit out of it.
Yes, he's right. He's right.
Wait, how young are you talking doing that? Because I think I'm pretty sure I did stuff
He's
like
35.
Yeah, I still do it today at 35. I still do it now. But, like, most kids probably stop around, like, 5.
Yeah.
But you've seen that.
No, of
Doing
course.
this and, like,
Yeah. No, I
like,
get that.
What do they do when they go outside? They go immediately straight to a jungle gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Immediately,
a jungle
it looks
gym.
exactly the same
It's
thing
the
as the thing in the
monkeys,
zoo.
yeah.
It's exactly that's what they want to be doing.
No, you're right. You have to have a bit of
You
that
can't just
hard.
sit there and be like, because what are you doing? You're raising a chimp then.
That's true.
That's what you're doing.
No, you're right. You need to have
Can't,
some
like,
discipline.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's a
It's just like
question.
Society isn't designed for this anymore.
Here's another political question along those lines. Do you think it would be appropriate to like government mandate that attitude? As in, like, because you can't. How do you actually get that into culture? So it's like that the variables don't all change, and so it's like one level across the whole country.
To quote Superintendent Chalmers, in a couple of months, all the public schools will be like this. I say sit back and enjoy it. There's nothing you can do about it.
No.
I just genuinely think that
Really?
like we're just becoming dumber and more illiterate. And
We surely can turn it around somehow.
Yeah, there's got to be some incentives. If Kevin
I
Rudd
think
can
it
give
is. I
everyone a
think it's-
fucking laptop and they can give him a $200 for being like, yell at your kid a bit. You know, you can do it. You can do
yell
it.
at your kid a bit. Yeah, $200.
too late.
well, they banned phones. That's a good start.
That's a huge,
Yeah.
huge thing.
but
Yeah, but like no one really follows that
Really?
in practice. These kids. So my wife is a teacher, and she was telling me this: when they lose their phone, like at school, let's say like some teacher took it away from them, they're not stressed. You know what they're stressing out about? How am I going to survive the next 3 hours without a phone?
Right.
Like now that I don't have a phone,
They got
how am I going to be
withdrawals.
able to access anything that I want? And they're crying.
Oh my God.
I think that's probably good.
like
That's like the
myths
first step.
about the times tables back in the day.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That was.
That's what has changed. This is what I'm talking about, right? You
Yeah.
can't go back from that.
No.
They're too stupid now.
Oh my God. That's really scary.
Yeah, I know. It's so scary. It's the honest lack of skill. This is the amazing thing about our field, Michael. This is incredible. But you look at Zoomers even, and they have no skills in anything whatsoever until I say, hey, I need a video editor for YouTube. And they're like, hey, okay, yeah, this is my first draft ever, and it's better than anything you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
So pretty much they know how YouTube works. That's it.
Right.
Because their entire life has been 18 years of being like, hey, guys, we're going to make a giant sausage today.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's just the economy can't withstand.
Keep watching this.
a lot
This
of
is
those.
good.
Yeah.
This is actually.
Rest
We're
is
telling
bad.
you about why this is bad, which makes it good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
right.
It's just
Like, share, and subscribe.
And you get extra if you sign up to Patreon as well.
Yeah, that.
More nuggets of wisdom.
Which is pretty much just essentially 30-year-old boomers sitting there being like, literally
back
just
in
like,
my day.
remember Queen?
That was a good joke. Remember Zappos?
You guys have that same rumor in your...
we're 30-year-old boomers.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
Yeah, of course we are.
Yeah.
Of course
I
we
love that. I've fully like eased in. I wear it as a badge of honor the 30-year-old boomer thing now because it's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened.
Look, it's cozy, it's comfy, and
And
feels
it's
good.
right.
Yeah, it's right.
There's a great meme I showed Jordan. You might have seen it. It's like not an amazing like format, but it's just like 30. Yeah. The addict comes back. It was like I don't know, 30-year-old 30-Year-Old Boomer, and it was like a guy playing Half-Life, drinking Monster Energy with a Metallica poster on the wall, and like that sort of like fucked fat like thinning hair beard, sort of just being like you and saying something like you guys weren't even like something like you weren't even there when Counter-Strike started.
Yeah.
And it's just like I just saw it. I'm just like, this is too like real.
I realized that the other day when I was with someone I work with, and we're doing like Simpsons quotes back to each other nonstop. And another employee we had there wasn't a Simpsons fan. And just thinking about people around us, I was like, we are so annoying right now. Like, genuinely, we're just actually annoying doing the Simpsons quote back and forth. Because it would have been like, oh, remember that Three Stooges bit? Hey, Mold? Just like, who gives a fuck? You're like, yeah, surely.
What are you talking? No.
Yes, yes. It's all
he's
contextual.
right.
You have to learn.
No, you sound
should
like a
fire that
boomer.
employee.
Yeah.
You should fire him.
Well,
No.
Fire him. You don't have it grounding in The Simpsons. That is like your dad being like, first, you must understand physics. I
agree, but contextually, it's the same as saying like they need to know the principles of Three Stooges, or like like those kind of old classics, which is true, but still in society, that's what we sound like. We still younger generation.
Yeah.
Which if you're
but
right.
they're right. The boomers were right.
No, I
It's
agree.
the same thing as like I hate Monty Python, but I understand. That
I
it's
agree
groundbreaking.
with both facets. It's like, yes, The Simpsons is funny and the quoting is funny, but it also is now we're an archetype. Like we are kind of a comedy archetype.
No, that's
to
true.
a
Here's
large
the
group of
test.
people.
To
Yeah, but
see-
what's their alternative to that? I saw some memes as a kid.
Well, how
No, theirs is the Gen Z. What we consider Simpsons, they consider Rick and Morty to be at the same level.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
And if you tell them Rick and Morty is shit, they say
reckon?
we kind of think Simpsons is shit.
No, I don't think that Rick and Morty. Look, Rick and Morty is definitely the biggest thing that has happened since The Simpsons. But it's not the same.
It's just it's for a
The
different
Simpsons
generation.
was a religion. Rick and
Rick
Morty,
and Morty
is
is
a popular
too.
Rick
show.
and Morty is a religion for
Yeah,
a
but
certain
okay, I know.
section.
Rick and Morty is Scientology. The Simpsons is Christianity.
You're saying that from your point of view. This is not objective.
Yes,
it's
it is.
definitely.
It's subjective as fuck.
It is both.
Dude, was Rick and Morty on every fucking night before Neighbours?
No, but it's a different type. People don't even watch
Hey,
TV
rest my
anymore.
case. Yeah, I know, but they don't watch anything anymore. Like they do, but everyone watches their own shit. But like, back
But there
then, it was
wasn't
just
even
like,
memes of The Simpsons
three
back in the
options.
day. There's like a billion memes of Rick and Morty. It's a different way people ingest media. It's like, yeah, surely it might be not exactly one to one, but it's definitely that is the new zeitgeist of that. What it filled that gap for people probably.
Yes. Yeah. It filled the gap. But the thing is, you have to be in the gap. Whereas in our generation, you were in the periphery. That kid that was like, I don't watch The Simpsons. It was like, yeah, because you're Todd Flanders. Right. Like basically like this one step up from being homeschooled.
Yeah,
you know, like
true.
it was a weird
I
child.
don't get how
that
people
didn't
don't
have
like The Simpsons. Like what's not to like? Like it has everything.
Yeah.
It's the everything show.
I really don't understand what it is. I think it's because they grew up watching seasons 15 and shit that were
Yeah,
on TV.
yeah.
and
I
it
think
was
that's
peppered out.
pretty
I think
much
that's
it,
why.
yeah.
So they don't remember the classics.
This is a great Simpsons commercial.
Yeah. Never has this been done before.
mean,
30-year-old saying Simpsons is great.
It is basically our like whole.
God.
It is our whole like half our fucking lexicon. Like half of Jordan life's just like prattling around, like muttering Simpsons quotes to himself in an airport or whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh anywhere.
Yeah.
The toilet, whatever.
You know, so it's like, but me too. There's so many. It's just such a.
That's most of my brain.
Yeah.
It's
So
a,
it is.
it's a lot of my
honestly
brain
like
too. Yeah.
telling a Muslim that Allah doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's so sacrilegious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But it is. It is
Nothing.
yeah, it
I'm
is
not
a
gonna
funny thought to
elaborate.
think of us as 30-year-old boomers just being like, you know, like fucking she my vest. And I was like, this fucking weird old cunts.
Yeah. You can instantly trigger another Simpsons fan that was just sing along with
Oh
you.
yeah, just like you made from real.
You know,
real.
it's pathetic. But no, I agree. I love The Simpsons.
I love it though.
Is there, Michael,
Look at
for
the
you, is there anything better than Simpsons in terms of just entertainment?
Cartoons? South Park, I'd say.
Oh,
You
you
think South Park
reckon?
is better than The Simpsons?
That's just great. It's on the same level. I feel like Simpsons was more like a Hollywood. Like it had more chefs in terms of like there was more like writers than South Park. 'Cause like South Park's very like it's driven by Trey and Matt, and they were like friends forever. And like Simpsons went through more that machine of like Harvard writers and a bit more professionalism. So they're different flavors. But I think South Park is so impressive because it came from just two guys from Colorado joking around, and they got into that system. So and it's like it's a different perspective, and yeah, it's probably not as like it probably won't be as iconic as The Simpsons in 100 years, but I think it's still like nearly there. Yeah,
What about
basically.
nowadays? What do you think about it now?
I don't really watch South Park anymore. It's not for any particular reason. It's not like I think it got bad or anything, but I just don't think I watch many things anymore, like
Nothing?
animation. When you start to work in it, I feel like, I don't know if it's, like the last thing you want to do is like turn on a cartoon to watch it after you worked on cartoons. And I don't know if that is...
like being a chef.
Well, I think it could be subconscious, like little jealousy things. Maybe like, oh, I wish I did that. Or I think the most likely thing is it's like if you work in, spaghetti all day. I always use that fucking spaghetti analogy. I'm going to come up with a new one right now. Lasagna. Yeah, if you work in lasagna all day, you're not going to go home and eat lasagna.
Vertical spaghetti. No, horizontal spaghetti.
Well, I don't know if you miss love, you would, but
also
anyway.
No, I get what you're saying, though. Yeah, yeah.
But I like anime. I'm watching One Piece right now.
One Piece is sick, isn't it?
Dude, it's so
You
good.
old geezer.
Yeah.
Why is
Wait,
it
what is
so
that?
good?
Yeah, he said some guy
Oh,
says...
you're a geezer. Yeah.
Did you just start watching
I
it?
just I'm about 100 episodes in. I'm
yeah.
not reading the manga.
Just started. I'm about 100.
Yeah, no, but I'm
That
saying
is just
that's like
starting
not
One
even
Piece.
10%.
It's like Dragon Ball or whatever. It's Dragon Ball Z, right?
It's
It's
a
like if
1,000
Dragon Ball Z was like 8 times bigger.
Is it?
Well, I don't know. It's just huge. It just never
Right,
ends.
yeah.
Keep going.
Do you guys like One Piece? Are you into One Piece?
Man, I never watched it because my older brother kept telling me when I was a kid to watch it, and I just didn't want to do it to annoy
It's
him.
worth it. I put it up for a long time. It is.
You'd
He
love
also
it.
used to say Bleach is
I
really
did.
good.
I watched the
I've
first
watched
100
it.
episodes.
sick.
As well. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I realized, like, okay, there's 2 things that I can do in life now.
Yeah.
It's either like
Watch all
have a career or watch all of One Piece.
Piece, exactly. I know.
And you made the wrong choice.
Exactly. I know. I regret it to this day.
I'm still on that fork in the road. That's the thing. I'm just like,
Oh boy. Tough decision.
How far will his arm stretch?
my career, maybe.
Is that longer than last time?
What's that?
To be continued.
Well,
What?
it's just...
Dude, I was just amazed watching it because this must stick out to you like a sore thumb. But I was like, wow, they have got like 10 frames that they are recycling over and over again. This is basically a picture book. This is not an animation.
It is, but I think the manga's more impressive in the fact that the mangaka that makes it is like very much like he sleeps 3 hours a night. He works like pretty much like 6 days a week, 7 days a week, and he sees his wife like once on the weekends. Like,
Yeah.
that's the lifestyle of these guys. It's like when they dedicate to it, it's like, I want to make the best manga of all time, and like they'll just do a whole 30 career making like 1 billion episodes, then just die drawing it. Like that's basically where this guy. He hasn't died yet. He's apparently wrapping up One Piece, but he just is. His whole life has just been devoted towards this. He's
Yes.
barely sleeping.
That's why they never fall into the soap opera trap. You know how like those shows that have 1 billion episodes, it just gets really bad after a certain time. But these guys,
Yeah.
I guess you just have to sacrifice your family and
You
life.
really do. It is that fork in the road that you have to choose, like life or like, do I make a manga, basically.
Would you ever consider making something like that?
I would
You
love
can't,
to.
can you?
It's
Like
not
it-
in my. I feel like that's such a Japanese culture.
Yeah, you can't do it.
thing
And it looks
that-
weird when Americans do it.
Yeah. Do you mean like the lifestyle of it, or just something that is in that?
No, not the
Design.
lifestyle. Something that's like kind of based on that design itself.
Oh, no, probably not. No,
Could you do the lifestyle?
no,
Are you a
not that
workaholic?
that either. I mean, I feel like. I mean,
How much
I
do
wo-
you work?
I work a lot, but not as much as that. But it's more like I'll delegate as much as possible. Like if I, try to create a show, I'll at some point like to get someone that can like be
Do
more
the show.
involved. Well, yeah, like slowly
Don't have to
train
do
them up,
anything.
and yeah, exactly. Well, it's just
Hell yeah.
it's more like my like I don't know if it's like getting bored of things, but I do like just. I don't know. I
Are
don't know
you
what
done
it is.
with animation?
No. I'm saying like I couldn't be the guy that just dedicated.
heard it here
a one.
first.
Yeah.
You heard it here
Hey,
first.
title of the
That's
video,
breaking
Michael
news all the
Cusack
time we have.
retires
That's all
from
the time we have. If you want
I
to know
chose
the end of
wa-
that sentence, you have to sign up to the Patreon.
Yeah, sign up to
Stick, put
Patreon.
breaking news at the bottom, and he's also going to come out soon.
Also, he said he said we
Nothing
all
to
got
do with
shit to...
smiling friends whatsoever, and you're quitting. Wow, these are
Yeah, I
bombshells.
chose the One Piece route. I'm watching all of One Piece instead.
Michael Cusack retires
Where do
to
you think I got
binge
the
watch
time to
One
watch those
Piece.
100 episodes?
No, I think I'm lately enjoying more the company business side of all this. Like maybe as much as I don't know, as much as the sitting down drawing stuff. So I love like training up like a showrunner or writers and be like, here's a TV show, like I've created it and these are the characters, but maybe you can run that and I'll go, do this. Like it, I like the delegating aspect. It probably will make me more dislikable because it's like, well, Michael Cusack doesn't even work on his own shows, you know. He's just bloody, he does sets and forgets. But I love it's because you build like people you can trust around you. It's like a nice...
You're becoming Seth MacFarlane.
That's cool. That's cool, man.
Isn't that what he does now?
I like that.
Oh, I mean, I'd be lucky if I could be like, basically,
Yeah, he just goes to like different places and just like, here's an idea, work on it. I'm going to go work on this thing else.
Essentially, I mean, he did American Dad, like he doesn't really have that much involvement with. I think he got
Is that still going?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because he got like them both up pretty much at the same time. I think Family Guy and when it came back, Family Guy came back. But I think he just didn't have time for it.
He did the Cleveland show, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what a classic.
But it's just the reality is if you're going to make a TV show, you kind of have to dedicate everything to it. And if you've got other ideas, other passions to do other shows, you do have to get like a team around you to help you. And you do have to
otherwise,
delegate a
even
little
with
bit.
Seth MacFarlane, I was watching one of his interviews. Apparently, when he was directing the first Ted, he was so exhausted from all of his different stuff that he was in a lift and he just fucking collapsed.
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
And like they had to take
Dude, Ted was not worth collapsing.
I beg to differ.
Yeah.
Ted wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
There's no. It's because of
So
cunts like
harsh,
you.
dude.
It's because of people like you that we don't have any comedies anymore.
Why?
Your barometer is high, and people are just afraid to make them. When was the last?
Yes, I'm the problem.
You are
the
single-handedly.
It's not just being like, here's an animated teddy bear and it swears.
Yeah.
Now that's comedy.
I mean, it kind of is. It's a
Yeah,
golden
you're right.
idea.
I'm a cunt.
It is weird though. You're right. Like it's not. You don't see any comedy
Yeah, we're not-
movies anymore, do you?
I wonder if it's because of what they claimed to be, that it's just in this environment it's too hard to take those risks, and you don't want to get canceled.
It is that, I think. Yeah.
You reckon?
I think the culture's definitely not.
Yeah, you would know as like what's the writer room like? Is self-censorship?
Yeah, definitely walking on eggshells. It's just like it'd be like any other corporate setting, as in like getting with people like what are their politics, what are you allowed to say, blah blah blah, and the shame is writers' rooms should be excluded from that just because of the nature of them.
Yeah.
It should be very open. Like obviously, you should be able to say anything in comedy, and it's a safe space. It's like because you should be able to go like it's. A Patrice O'Neill quote or something like a bad joke and a good joke birthed from the same place. So it's like you should be able to go weird places just
Totally.
to experiment because it's going to get probably gold.
Yeah, exactly. You have
but-
to throw. You can do anything. You should be able to throw any darts.
Oh
on the
yeah,
board,
anything. Like
Yeah.
really, like it's either one or the other thing. It's not like anything, but you can't say that one, and that one. No,
Yeah.
really, it should be really
Yes,
anything.
yeah.
Because the goal isn't to like just fuck around with your friends and say mean stuff and be offensive. The goal really is to get something funny out of it.
Yeah.
And you know
Yeah.
what's not. Like you can sift through all the bullshit and be like, nah, this isn't working, that's not working. Oh wait, that is good. And a lot of the time funny things will just happen from talking not about writing and then
Yeah.
but you got to start with that foundation of feeling like you can say anything. So,
Definitely.
To go back to your question, most of the writer rooms in Hollywood would not have that atmosphere because you're bringing people together that don't really know each other that well. They're not like friends from high school where they just screwed around. They're people that it's very like LinkedIn, like hello, nice to work with you. I hope we can have a good working relationship. So. Yeah, they'll maybe teeter. Also, what people think is edgy is like,
Not.
Trump has an orange face. Oh, you really went there. It's like, it's the safe kind of edgy. And they are like, Jesus Christ, he's
It's that
naked or
annoying
something. Yeah.
bourgeois attitude, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's just like, here's something really edgy. Christianity.
Yeah, Christianity.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, smoking a joint.
I really like that idea of some like writer like spending like 8 hours writing and like tipping back in his chair. It's got the little thing. And he's just like, Trump looks like an orangutan.
Trump's
And then everyone's just like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sack of cash. Like you've done it again.
his hands are small.
Yeah.
Money just falling from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You win, Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, LA's economy just goes
Yeah. It's like if you go to writers, not writers. Sorry.
Some say he's the greatest writer since Shakespeare.
Hemingway is turning in his grave.
If you go to read-throughs, to like script read-throughs that happen a lot, it's just the biggest like dick-sucking event ever because it's like it'll be like this, like Johnny walked across the street, and then he said hello, hello, and then like it's like they even put on like sillier voices when they do read-throughs. Everyone, and also you've got like executives from the studios at those things. You've got like friends of friends. Like each writer will bring like friends, so those writer like read-throughs are just packed with people, and it's the biggest like nepotism dick suck. So after it. But like, because the whole point of them is to read scripts to see if they're funny or not. So they read, and it's like, well, I mean, we did a good job. We don't need to change anything. It's all funny. The reality is, it's like
It's not.
they're just laughing at everything. So of course it's not. I mean, maybe like it is funny, but it still probably needs punch ups or like. But they're not getting an honest reaction at these things. Like
So no one ever says anything.
I mean, it depends. It's like obviously it's so contextual, but like with the bigger shows, it's like. I feel like, I don't know, like I think it's pretty much across the board in like in the Hollywood world. Like if it's a table read at one of the bigger shows, like you're never gonna get like them being critical of it.
Look,
there.
Ali, look, that's why there's no comedy written anymore.
Yeah,
That right
yeah,
there.
That's the reason.
That's right there because they're just pumping out crap and no one wants to watch it, and then they're like, "Oh, people aren't into comedy."
But isn't
anymore."
this like
That's
a
why.
problem? Because like those shows are never gonna get. They'll get canceled.
No, it's a great opportunity because like the YouTube, TikTok, like there's so many comedy will come from outside of the Hollywood system now. Like it already is.
Same as like a lot of the creative industries. I feel like even music. It's like you don't have to be in these epicenters to make it. It's almost
Yeah,
a
I think the
disadvantage.
only reason that
Yes,
you
it
need to
is.
be in Hollywood
Yeah.
now is if you want to make science fiction and you
Yeah,
need like
sci-fis.
$100
I think that's the only
billion
thing
to-
left.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is. It makes you look cooler.
Yeah.
It is cooler to be like out of the system, and like,
Yeah.
you can have a much fresher perspective. I'm sure there's people in LA that are like, "Fuck, I wish I was born in like Nevada, like Nebraska, or something to be
Wisconsin.
cooler."
Yeah.
So
That's so funny. It's a cool time in that respect. Isn't
yeah, it is. It's a great opportunity to just make TikTok videos and become famous. As simple as that. What are you doing?
Right, we're doing it right now.
Make funny
Turn these
YouTube
fucking cameras up.
Yeah. mean-
TikTok dances and shit.
I mean, you did it. Like you came from you weren't from Hollywood, were you?
Yeah, but I think his was non-voluntary. He was rejected several times
Yeah.
from everywhere.
Yeah.
Thanks,
sorry.
Ali.
it's a success story.
Yeah, but there was
That's
a
cool.
lot of trips
Should
before.
be proud of it.
Yeah.
2 or 3
I'll tell
times
you-
it was just because the other person was a midget that he got rejected.
The old midget hate, eh?
My arch nemesis.
All roads lead to
Still.
Every single one of them. I am like fucking. What was the Lannister dad just looking at his son? Always been, "You're an abomination, aren't you?" I have that same seething hatred of little people.
Oh my god.
Well, they've always stepped over me, climbed
happened
over
like-
my shoulders, on giant
It
shoulders.
happened
They
once.
were. What?
It happened once at a comedy show that I think you imagined.
I think twice.
When was the second
No,
time?
he didn't get.
Yeah, it was
you
another
got-
fucking comedy festival. It was 2 midgets. They beat me.
I
Stood on each other and pretended they were a real
I
man.
speculate whether this happened. I don't know if this happened.
Yeah, well, like I had a life outside of you, Mitch.
Fair enough.
And it was during the time I knew you anyway. It's just you took no interest.
Wait, what happened?
Just comedy shows. It's always the same. Comedy. What are they called again? Competitions. I'd go
talent
there.
show?
I had talent. And then at the end, they just like obviously just give it to the most disabled person in the room, and they're like, "And there's the real winner."
Yeah, you had too much talent.
Yeah, exactly. I had too much talent. That was my problem.
Oh shit, that's gold.
Oh, it's so
But
annoying.
look, all of your you killed it. As
What?
Michael said, you killed for all the setbacks. They made you who you are today,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You should be
very
proud.
bitter and resentful.
and successful. Don't forget successful though.
Yeah, but too jaded to care or
Enjoy it, yeah.
enjoy it
Oh, not
at all.
That's
Which is the real key to success, kids.
This is where my theory comes in.
I think that is the key to success, though.
Yeah, no, but here's my theory, just specifically with Jordan. Let's just slowly micro poison him daily, because then he'll get dumb enough to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm happy."
He's right about
Are
that.
you happy? Are you happy?
Not at all. He is absolutely on the money.
See,
about
I'm one of
that.
my just a
He's
just
right.
a little, just knock the edge off.
Yeah. Do you know what I really appreciate about you? That this is probably not related to happiness, but I hope it helps. I remember you said once on one of your like self-help videos, like doing all this comedy stuff, you'll feel like you're gonna always think of your friends paying you out, and that's such an Aussie thing. I think, like putting yourself out there, like you just think your closest friends paying you out behind your back, which probably does happen. It definitely happens.
Oh, it
happened
definitely
to me.
happens.
Tall
But don't-
poppy syndrome.
Yeah, and I always think every time I post anything, it's like I'm just always thinking about friends just paying me out, that kind of thing. But it's just like don't fucking worry about it. It's such a setback, and
Well, you still
Well,
think
that's
about
just the
that?
Australian.
I think, but you got to train yourself, and you were talking about it. Like, just train yourself to just like push it away. Who cares?
No, but like even
Yeah.
today, is that something that like pops into your mind when you're making something?
it does, but it's like I've trained it to like be a thought and then just whatever. Like, but it's still something that is always. But before it'd be much more crippling.
Yeah, for
it'd
sure.
be it just because. Like you'd have friends at school or whatever, like you do YouTube. Oh, you're doing your YouTube video, like oh, your cartoon, and it's like, yes, they're joking, but you know behind it, it's like it is
Yeah.
just that. It's like, is that really? That's just you're my friend, you know? Like,
It's the shittest thing about Australia. I don't like that about Australia.
No, it's
Yeah.
like, but that's how you differentiate between like really good friends and like not so good friends.
yeah.
It's true.
Your really good friend
they're
will
being honest,
encourage
I
you.
suppose. But I feel like because dude, you make shows in America. You've like made it. You have a bunch of like stuff going on there. Do you find that Americans are more sort of supportive of your?
Yes, but there's
But
a
he's
catch.
saying to exactly.
There's a catch. So I do
Right.
appreciate the friend at school that pays you out because there is like an honesty to it. Because otherwise, I'd be contradicting what I was saying with the Reed thing.
Right.
Yes, they're more supportive, but it's coming with a little bit like of an ingenuine. They're wanting something, or it's just
Right.
how the setup works. Of like, it's just different culture, and it's not exactly as honest, I guess, as Australia. So. I'm not sure if it's.
Oh,
better
really?
or
I thought that
worse.
there was a bit of. They're also genuinely more impressed with crap ideas.
I think they are, and I'm just always unsure about that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it is. I think
I
you're
also
actually,
think they're more
no.
insincere. They're way more phony. That's true.
It's so hard because it teeters. You're right, though. Like, they'll be like, this is amazing. It's the best script ever. And you're like, are you just saying that? Or do you actually believe that? Like, if it's a shit script.
I think it also is a bit of Australian insecurity in there. Of like, there's just 30 years of getting paid out mercilessly, and then
yeah.
someone's like, "Yeah, it's genuinely good," and then it's just like, "He's coming. He's gonna. He's
Yeah,
shooting up for
but-
something.
He's gonna
attack me. He's gonna attack me."
But when I say that example is like them talking about a script, not mine. Like that, like something else that I know is bad. Like or just like I don't know, like yeah, it's I can't tell. Honestly, I still don't. I've been there for a while now, and I can never. I remember sitting my agents down, and they were like, "We love you. We just want to like think about your career and like you're amazing and stuff like that." And I was like, "Okay, can you just stop the bullshit for a second? Can we just-"
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Man, my entire life, I've just dreamed of one person once being like, "I appreciate your career in some capacity."
but- I've
that would
said
be
it.
nice.
We've
That would
said
be
it.
nice.
We've
Yeah, and
said
again, you also dack me, so just
but no, but
I'm always waiting
no,
for
but they're
it.
like because like if I called them out, I was like, "What do you love most about my career?" They'd probably be like, I don't know. They, like, you know what I mean? They wouldn't.
Brutal.
These are the kind of people that
Brutal.
didn't know Damon Darren. You know what I mean? It's just because like
Really?
no, like it's so, but it makes it hard because it's they know some things or like they see you as a commodity in Hollywood in a different way, but they're not that close to you. But I don't know really what I'm saying.
So they're
there,
just
but,
like
yeah.
they're interested in you because the buzz that your name. has
Yeah,
created.
exactly. It's all about stocks in Hollywood. It's like you just go high or
Jesus.
worthless, basically.
That
And
sounds
but you can go
horrible.
back to it. It's just like blah, 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 blah. Like bitch.
Okay,
Yeah, but
so-
at least you are a stock. That's the thing. I think in Australia, it's almost just being the Soviet Union. That's
Yeah, but,
about
like,
it.
dude, be
There's
careful
no
what you wish
stocks.
for. Jordan.
Yeah, there's good things
He is
about
saying people are complimenting him who might not have even seen anything he does. You get paid out by people that watch you fucking religiously. They'll watch every single thing that you've ever said.
Yeah, but
I
man, I
think
wish
I
they'd fuck
prefer
off. You would? You want a bunch of obsessive nerds?
No,
It's
no,
a-
no.
The endless episode of The Simpsons where they're just being like, in episode 35B.
I think
Great
honesty is always better, even if it's uncomfortable. I think ultimately it is.
But I don't think that
better.
they're honest. I just think they're cunts.
Yeah.
I think they're just cunts. Like, they're honest about the fact that they're just negative pieces of shit. And I think that that's just generally the Australian attitude. You could show them fucking anything. I remember Paul Keating talking about it once when he was like restructuring the economy, modernising Australia, making it the most dynamic economy on earth and the most resilient
Here
at the
we
same
go
time.
again.
Miracle working,
The
like
Labour man.
economic wizard. And then he just comes out, he does all these tricks, and then Australia's kind of like, Yeah, I guess that's. I just floated the dollar. Fucking.
I can float a dollar,
Okay, I
chuck
just
the
gave you
dollar in a
30
pond.
years of growth. I also like increased made inflation go lower than growth for fucking 30 years. Fucking. You know, like
Isn't
you
that
can't
all-
fucking do anything to
Yeah.
please these cunts.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is
No, you can do a
Australia's-
shoey.
Australia,
You can do a shoe. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll fucking do
Australia's
it.
too tall poppy syndrome. America's too superficial. So paradise is
It's New Zealand.
England.
No, dude, it is not.
I mean, it must be.
What is England?
Is there
What
an
is
industry
the
in
attitude
England? Is there?
there?
Can you go to London
Yeah,
and
of
be
course.
like, I'm making, like, I don't know, like popping off friends, yeah, from Essex in it.
question.
Dude, I mean, they made Trapdoor.
Yeah.
There's something there.
There's somewhere in the
shit,
middle.
They did.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere has an industry, I suppose.
I don't know if they've got the tall poppy thing, but they don't have that like
Maybe it's a middle ground. I mean,
free market like capitalism strength, like the phoniness that America breeds. But
Yeah.
it's somewhere. It's, a bit
it's
more-
probably. I don't think my theory is like ice, like rock solid. Like you get in the middle. Yeah, that go.
You
work
go to this
there, work
place
there.
that's
Yeah.
rapidly becoming a third world country. That's the
yeah.
future.
No, I would rather be in Australia than England. Right? It is.
Isn't it amazing? So many of my friends have come over and said, I'm thinking of coming back to Australia to do creative work. And I thought, holy
No, but
fuck,
it-
England must be so
No,
much
it-
worse than we thought. You're thinking Australia is the promised land.
Yeah.
Like you're what, like a fucking settler back in 1800s? It's like, I think there's gold there.
Doesn't it make sense though? It just feels like the empire they were, and then that trajectory. And if you watch that as a movie, it makes sense. It's like a karma story. It's like, and then like they went like settling in America, Australia, like getting away and make like. I know we didn't get an independence like America, but it's kind of similar. Like everyone leaving, it's like. It's kind of embarrassing for them. Like, I think America is like the most embarrassing thing for England. Because imagine like English people going over to another country and be like, "Oh, we kind of want to do our own thing." Like, no, you can't do that. No, we will. And they become America.
But yeah, also killing it that much, being
Yeah,
like,
yeah, killing
can
it
you
that
just
much.
like at least still eat shepherd's pies or something?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. You at least have a
Something.
bit of an English accent, like a little bit of your roots. Like that would be the biggest
Yeah.
knife in your
Yeah, but
back.
it's tragic, dude. I told him one of my high school friends just came from England, and I was just showing her around Sydney, and she was saying there's like straight up bread lines.
Right.
Yeah, and she's leaving. Everyone is trying to leave. It's
I
like
I went there last year and had the best time, but I was on holiday, and I think I stayed in a really nice area. So,
Right.
so I'm
You had
just
a
like,
different warped perspective, maybe.
yeah, probably, because I'm just like red lines. There was taco lines. I don't know what you're.
Do we
talking
sound
about.
like someone on Joe Rogan talking about Australia? You know what I mean? You know when everyone's like, "What's Australia like?" Oh my god.
Yeah, we
It's,
do.
What do they say about
Well,
it?
it's like hitting
everything is trying to kill you.
It'll
I hate that.
Or it'll be like
Yeah.
it's 99% Chinese now. Like it's like they hit some truths.
Some
but it's
truth.
like there's like exactly 80 more in the 80%. But
Stop overblowing it.
but it's always like 10 times exaggerated. Like I wonder, is England? I'm sure it probably is that bad. Isn't
I
it?
think you're doing the same
Well,
thing.
I'm
I don't know.
thinking,
If
No,
I'm
it's-
definitely
no.
maybe like it's.
Everyone, it's like a common talking point on all of their shows.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about like testimonials from people that have just come there, and like none
Yeah.
of them are painting a pretty picture.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's not exactly as bad. Maybe they're. I don't know.
I believe it.
Yeah.
No, I think England. It just like I said, it kind of makes sense. That story for them, like the king of the world, then like and then like the America thing.
Here's the thing.
Because
If
as Ali
you're-
was saying, it's purely just because they got like a mad trade deal with India back in the day. They just
Yeah.
potlucked it, but there's really nothing that should have made them huge. It's an island that can't produce much food.
They should be like another like another European country like that. Like
Yeah, they
another,
should-
Well, you know what they
Be
should
like
be? They
Czech
should be like one of
Republic.
those Bulgarian countries where you just like it's this tiny slither of land. It's like I guess they've got some goats, but like they've got fucking nothing. They've got nothing.
But
Yeah.
I think this. I feel like this might be an accurate statement. If you work in the financial industry and you're like not at the bottom of the barrel, I think you're still doing well because
Yep.
that's the only industry that
course,
still
yeah.
makes money over there.
Yeah.
But if you're doing pretty much anything else, you are suffering. at the
Actually,
moment.
thinking back, I did run into this lady in old Battersea where I was
Battersea.
staying, and she was like, "How you going?" I was just talking to her on the bus, and she was like, "Hey, you're visiting, yeah?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Hey, check this out. This is an app that can show you where there's like restaurants where like they like basically they throw out old food and you can get it cheap, yeah." And I was just like, "Oh God, that sounds amazing, but fuck that. That's pretty fucked up. But that sounds great, but fuck that. But it sounds good."
that sounds like such a caricature of like a English. My girlfriend once told me when she went to England, she kept running past the same beggar that was in like a cloak that was like looked like a witch, and she would always say, "Spare some change."
It's
Yeah,
true.
those people exist there.
You're
They do.
from like the 1700s.
Dude, listen to this.
And you go into Starbucks and the guy sounds like Hugh Grant. They're caricatures.
Listen to this. I lived in Brighton like 10 years ago, and I was out, and there was some lady being like, spare change. And I was just like, don't have any on me. And then, how good is this? She turned to me from as I passed her, and she goes, never cross a gypsy.
She cursed you. She fucking cursed you.
Curse me.
Gave you a gypsy
She
curse.
tried to curse me. And nothing's gone wrong since then, so I don't know what. No, the curse worked.
That caused your
I'm so
ADHD.
sorry.
But no, everyone is like, everyone is a character. Just to confirm that.
Yeah.
And that's why the economy's fine.
They've been through some shit times. Like, you know that whole caricature of like spare that change? You know where that comes from? In like the late 1600s, most of English people were serfs, and they were working for a lord, and they were producing some whatever wheat, whatever they were. They'd give off most of it, keep some for themselves. And then like at one point, the nobility decided that there was more money in producing wool. So they all just replaced their farms with like sheep. And that required a lot less labor. And so from that point until the Industrial Revolution, when factories were set up, most people just became spare some change.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Society of beggars. The society of beggars.
Yeah, a society of beggars.
Jesus.
That's why, like,
So
when
really,
people
it's
say,
they're just going back to their roots.
yeah, that's why when people
That's what
say,
that country
like,
should
Wheat.
be. Wheat, sheep,
wheat roots.
and then everyone there being like, "Fresh in your drink, Governor." That's it.
London has
And
some
that's what it
beautiful
is
women,
now.
though. London has some beautiful women. It's a very international city. Like there's some.
Yeah, no,
Oh my God.
this is another one of these
Here we go,
conspiracy
propaganda.
theories. That
Also, why do you care about that? Your ideal woman is a milkmaiden from Germany, anyways.
I guess that's probably why. I
there's
think
close
they're
enough. There's
attractive.
many a milkmaiden there.
Do you think when it comes to like Europe and UK, do you think the map will change in the next 10 years at all? Like besides Ukraine and Russia, like do you think that we'll see like another conflict in actual like West Europe, England, like
Nah,
borders changing?
no.
Unless, like, the whole, like, for that, the entire continent would need to absolutely collapse. Because most of the decision makers now think that we're losing our standing, and so the only way we can actually convince people to do anything is by if we just pool in our resources. That was the whole concept of Eurozone. So like if it happens, like, you know, Brexit was just a fucked event. If the whole continent just doesn't collapse, there won't be extreme infighting.
Right. So you can't see any more just like Germany, France.
Maybe at
Italy
some
kind
point
of-
things will need to get
another
really
Holy
bad.
Roman Empire.
No, dude, they gotta bind. They gotta like bind together. They're like, I think all of Europe together now is like poor as shit comparatively. So they're just like locking arms.
Yeah,
being
I
like,
always think about that. I'm so glad, A, that I don't live in the UK, but also all of continental Europe seems like a lame place to live.
Yeah.
Berlin to me just seems like a nightmare world with like
Jesus.
really bad food.
I mean, you're sticking to the man of extremes with generalizations. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I hate the entire continent. I
Would
would-
suck.
All of Europe.
Do you know
all
how
of it.
beautiful most of Europe is?
What about
Yeah, but
even like Western Europe and like Italy, France?
do you guys want to
Spain?
live there?
Yes. Do you?
I mean, I'd live in the south of France. Yeah, like anyone
Yeah,
would.
of
Like
course.
you
Would
would.
you?
Yes.
Surely you'd live in the Côte d'Azur.
Croatia's
No, I don't
beautiful.
like
I
looking
will
at
live there
old
one
cottages
day.
and cunts walking around in those Hessian hats.
It's
It
basically
annoys me.
it's like Bondi, but like a
He
little
doesn't
bit
like
better.
Bondi.
Yeah, and then
he doesn't like
that's
it.
Okay,
why
What
I
is your
escaped.
dream? Is it a prison cell? What is your dream location?
Yeah.
Okay, but prison isn't a
Prison
country.
cell in the Gold Coast, and I can look at it and be like,
You know where he would actually want to live? Ukraine. He wants to be in a
Right.
war-torn,
You're a
fucked
con- you know what you
country.
are?
No, no. I
You're
wanna
a
live,
contrarian.
I want to live in an authoritarian hellscape, but I don't want it to be war torn.
Where?
I'm not a psycho.
Russia?
Huh? No, Turkmenistan. Or like North Korea or something. I like those like dictators that put huge vanity projects
guy
of a
is-
statue that's
contrarian.
like close to the moon.
He's
He
a
is
massive
so insane,
contrarian.
Michael. He's so insane. He has been convincing me he wanted to go to Saudi Arabia, and he wanted me to come with him.
This is the same as the smoking. This is the looking cool thing. This is the you stay in France. I'll be in North
Ultimate
Korea.
hipster. Ultimate hipster.
Thank you.
And
I outplayed the game.
Saudi Arabia was an insane place, right? And I was like, I don't want to go there. Like it's too triggering for me to be there. Saudi Arabia is now changing. They're like opening up, and I was telling Jordan, I was like,
Do you wanna go
yeah,
now?
I think we can go. And he's like, I don't want to go there.
Oh, fucking hell. So mental.
I've been found out.
Come on, as if you don't like those dictatorship wonder worlds where it's kind of like the whole place looks like Luna Park.
I would love
You know,
to.
like-
I would love to visit those places. Would I like to live
No,
there?
you
Probably
didn't.
not.
You had your chance.
Well, I first of all, the chance wasn't really given to me. You didn't
Right,
really
right.
offer it.
Okay.
Second of all, there's other reasons I might not have wanted to attend that particular trip. But no, I'd like to go to those places. I just want to live there because I would like chew gum and get
Man,
put in
yeah,
prison.
but I like the fact that there's some social cohesion there as opposed to just what we have here,
No,
which
I
is
agree.
allowing everybody to do whatever the fuck they want all the time. There's no repercussions for anything ever. And then what happens? You just get like what's happening in Europe and the UK. You just have these slowly not even slowly, like rapidly disintegrating societies.
I completely agree, but wouldn't you rather it happen here than go to another country where you'll always be seen as an outsider there in their like
Yeah, I'd like
dictatorship?
that, but it's just never going to happen. It's too late.
I mean-
the rot's in.
Yeah, but dude, the outsider connotation in these places is great. You're like
Yeah.
a celebrity just because you're from a Western nation. So you'd want to be an outsider.
By the way, it could happen. Like, you need things to get extremely bad before they get better. Like, that's kind of the way it's always gone in history. Like, we could still have some kind of small turnaround, or at least go back a little bit.
Maybe. I think probably the most likely scenario is everything kind of follows the same path as the UK, and Asia just keeps getting better and better.
Well, we don't have much
I just-
data. We don't have. I mean, I guess we do.
What?
Like the Roman Empire and like many empires that have just gone to nothing. But some have gone back-ish. Well, we weren't really an empire. I guess we were kind of subsidiary of an empire. So we've got this weird.
Ali and I talk about that all. We think like Australia's going to be okay.
Yes,
Australia's going to be okay.
Yeah, but that's because we're lucky. We would have been exactly where England is had we
Mining?
not have
It's just mining.
the mining wealth that we have. It's like we're Saudi Arabia. We just have a shit.
But also on top of that, we have an entire continent to harvest resources off of,
that's,
and they have
but
nothing.
that's part of it, right?
have
That's why we have the mining
Not
wealth.
much coal. I think that's
Yeah.
what England has.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've used it all.
Yeah, so
But I do get the appeal. I get what you're saying. I get the appeal of like a country that like is clean and not full of like
fuckheads.
self-obsessed people that are materialistic and stuff. But like, I don't think you can find people like that in the West.
Dude,
You know,
the
you can.
sweet
It's not
spot
like
is
everyone's like
second
that.
world countries. I lived in Malaysia for a year. It is genuinely the sweet spot. It doesn't have all the
Malaysia's
shit that you're
sick.
talking about.
Right.
It's
And
got a
the
bit of it.
streets are still clean.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of it.
Yeah, it's the perfect place to live. Things
It
are
does have
cheap.
like your kind of prime minister for life feel about it.
I think I figured out the perfect sweet spot. It's all these like these first world countries like US, Australia, England. It's to split your country in half and make one half the super progressive, super like just basically just make two sides of the parties. Extremely conservative and an extremely progressive country. You can choose, like, and you can.
Dude,
you
they've
can
done
go-
that. That's the UAE. Dubai is the super progressive, and the rest
Right.
of UAE is
Yeah,
conservative.
exactly.
Really?
And, well, I mean, what's it successful? Sorry,
Dude,
like
it's
it's going
one of
well.
the most, one of the
Exactly.
biggest success stories in the
So-
world right now.
But see, Jordan's thing is not to speak for you, but I think I know the guy pretty well. He's not conservative. He's like socially super progressive. He wants the like progressiveness with the authoritarian.
This system still works. This system still works because
Does
when
it?
you want the conservative stuff, you go to your conservative side of your country that you're accepted with your citizenship. But when you want the benefits of the progressive stuff, you could just hop back to it. You want to go to like a strip club, you go to your progressive country. You want no gum on the ground, go to conservative
I
place.
suppose you can't have both.
You actually, it doesn't. Well, at least now it doesn't really blend well
Yeah.
together. Like
That's
they're
kinda
kind
true,
of they're
actually.
they're very opposite sides of the spectrum. I mean, that's why.
Dude, I just think
there's
that
different
that
parties.
society, it just breeds selfishness. It just breeds poor citizens that don't give a fuck about like anything to do
Which
with like wider
society?
society. Like the one where you just like, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want in San Francisco.
No,
like that kind of
it
shit.
has to
It's
breed
just
something
money.
good because there's 50. It's like this. It's this yin and yang thing. You'll get like art out, like you'll get the more of the art. You'll get more of the progressive. Like each side has their benefits.
But that's it. Like you'll
Your-
get art.
Your
That's what
best,
you get.
your best accountant that figures out your money is probably more conservative or fiscally more conservative. I'm assuming. Well, I mean, it depends. But
They're
like,
very conservative.
Yeah,
Good
so,
accountant,
like-
all they care about is saving tax.
and the Beatles were probably all progressives, obviously. So like, you do get benefits from both sides of these spectrums. That's why I'm saying like, just have both of those in the country, both those extremes, and you just can float between. We kind of have that with like big cities being more progressive and then rural areas being
Yeah.
more, you know.
Yeah, because the
conservative
U.S.
anyway.
is a bit like that, right? Culture in L.A. is very different to culture in
yeah,
Nebraska.
that's starkly different, and it is that common pattern where the big cities obviously more blue Democrat. Then like you look at the rest of the country, it's just all red. You know, it's just the rural areas will be more conservative.
Yeah, but you know what
farmers,
that does,
truckers.
Michael? It just makes like the population hostile towards each other.
But not if it's a because I don't actually think the city rural thing is the best system. That's happened naturally. But if it's an actual like country split, let's look at a border, West Germany, East Germany.
What you're talking about is Nazi Germany.
Well, after Hitler died, though, after bit.
Hey, look, there's good clubs on the east. So
exactly.
And the west is not.
Doesn't that
That's
say
cool.
a lot, though? Isn't that the whole thing about East Germany, that everyone now, like when it first went down, they were saying, yes, you get to see David Hasselhoff dance. This isn't so bad. And then 10 years later, they're like, fuck, I wish the war was back up.
Yeah, they.
I mean, dude, there was
actually-
people.
It's
There was
weird how.
people dying, being killed, trying to go to.
But
no one was trying to go to the east.
Yeah, but
dying.
he's
It was
right.
all east
If you
going.
look at polls
Yeah, but I
today,
reckon that was just a bunch of bourgeois cunts going like, oh, I miss having a Rolls Royce that I don't have to pay tax on. And then
don't
got
think that's-
shot,
I don't think
died for the right.
But it's also not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that we're the Westerners that are pro.
Yes, that's what happened, Biss. You can
West
shake your head
Germany.
all you like, but you got no arguments.
My argument is I've read shit in a museum that would be contrary.
Yeah, but
to
that's
that.
what I'm saying. It's a propaganda factory.
We
man.
swallowed Western propaganda. Like I'm not saying the East, like Germany, was like the best, but we're going to be more biased in that. Like,
Yeah, exactly,
We're going to
right.
be more on that side.
Yeah.
We don't really
Totally.
know.
there were
Totally.
certainly some but you know, okay, if you go to like my dad went to Austria a few years ago and he was telling me this, because Austria was part of the Soviet Union, even today, people that go on public transport that you're supposed to pay for, they just don't pay out of protest. They're like, because they're used to a world
That's
where you didn't have to
mad,
pay
right?
for it.
Hell
So like
yeah.
when corporations were like, "Oh, you have to pay for this,"
Yeah,
like,
fair
are
enough.
you
No.
crazy? It's as if someone was telling us like you have to pay for rainwater or something.
Yeah.
You know, so it has its advantages.
Oh,
as
for
well.
sure. I'm not saying, yeah, definitely. I'm not saying like Trump's America is the only way to live. I'm saying dial it down a few notches, you know, like whatever.
So Peter Dutton.
No, I'm kidding. I'm obviously you're right. It's all lived experience, you know. Some people like
Man, I
Yeah.
just think, honestly, the biggest tell of that was when I was talking to his mum and she was saying, I hated the Soviet Union. It was so oppressive. And I
this your
really
mum?
like university. Your mum.
Oh, my mum, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think his mum is a
Well, I didn't
Croatian
fucking know.
woman.
I didn't know.
To
know
be
what you
fair,
meant.
I did for like 5 seconds think he was talking about my mom.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So-
like-
It was a very
Was she in
lazy
the Soviet
point. It was like,
Union?
this general direction.
Yeah.
One of your guys.
No,
just
my mum.
mum.
Sorry. Yeah. She was.
Yeah, the same shit.
Yeah.
She was saying that, and she was, and then I don't know, university came up, and Miss Love and I were saying we didn't learn anything, and she's like, what are you talking about? You learned so much at university, and it's like, yeah, you learned things at university.
Yeah.
You know all the different economists from the West and the like, all these Eastern economists that we've never heard of in our lives. She just have a reading of, and she didn't even do economics.
Yeah.
She read like 30 books a year or
Dude,
something.
education
in
was
their
different
univers-
level. There's
Huh?
there's different level. It would be insane to just blanket be like, oh, the sort of like Russian communist experiment like bred nothing positive because like
It
they're
was so much more educated. Man,
So
you know what else
educated.
we saw? Because we were watching this UFO documentary, and you see all that, because there's always cosmonauts and astronauts in it, saying like, I saw something weird in the sky. But you look at all the cosmonauts, and they're like obviously smarter than Stephen Hawking. They're like, you can see it in their eyes and like the way that they're speaking, just like, you know, and like what they're saying is more intelligent. And then they cut every time to an American astronaut, and it's some potato farmer from Nebraska with like this really dull face in his. I seen something in the sky. You can finna get down the road. He thought the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's their astronauts. That's like the smartest people they have.
Yeah. I'm always careful when because obviously, like the USSR, like had its bad stuff, and like you know, we all know that. But I'm always careful to like make my judgment concrete because it's like, well, I swallowed purely Western media, like of
Yeah,
course,
exactly.
Of course, it's going to lean in that direction. So, yeah, I have no idea. Maybe you know.
That's, you know what, you've actually summed up what I've been trying to say on this podcast for the last 10 years with like no finesse whatsoever. Exactly what he said there. That's basically what I've been trying to say. Is like all of your opinions are purely because you grew up in this fucking environment. That's
it's
it.
very hard to untangle them because even that untangling is still part of your own brain. So it's like, it's you're not really getting. It's hard to get third-party resources to back up that. Blah, blah, blah. It's hard. It's a jungle, and it's going to It's going to get worse with all the AI, social media, how it is. It's like just getting objective.
Yeah.
Facts. It's just why is it so hard?
Fakes.
No, but my whole point is like they never existed.
Yeah, you're
They
right.
never existed. I don't know why anyone is even trying to do it.
What?
But I was just sitting there and saying,
Facts.
what I
Facts.
hate is when someone sits there and it's just like, I have the objective view of the world. It's like
There's no such
Just by
thing.
definition.
just
Yeah.
by you existing,
Yes.
like your human brain, you've
Yeah,
already lost.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Even if you didn't grow up in a society and you just grew up in she-wolf's teat.
Yeah, well, I think maybe the pursuit for facts is almost like futile. This is a win and lose game. Like that's the thing. Like the Neanderthals could have been better than Homo sapiens. They lost, and we won.
Losers.
That's all that really matters. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
It's similar
yeah,
to the
yeah.
USSR and America. It's like in a way, I know they didn't technically lose, but they lost that battle when the West won at that point. So the fact that we all have that collective unconsciousness is kind of all that matters. Those are the facts. Just because
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
nothing else really.
Exactly.
It's all winning and losing.
Here's
Yeah.
another fact.
Yeah.
In 1970, F-17, just before the revolution, Russia was a basket case of Europe and the world. And by the time the Second World War happened and Stalin was in power, it was one of the two superpowers of the world.
That's pretty amazing.
That happened somehow.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
power of snow, I assume.
Yeah.
Snow and just
Snow plowing.
Also, how are they that
activated
good?
the
It's so
economy.
fucking cold there. Like how do you become a scientist there? How do you get a little baby cold
I'll tell
all
you
day?
that. No, honestly, look, the most productive I've ever been in my life was when I lived in Korea. And you just have the Siberian winter smacking you, and all you can think when you go outside is, I want to go inside.
I want to go
it.
home and work and innovate.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you want to do. You just want to sit down and study.
But you guys know the development theory behind that. So if you live in a cold place as opposed to a warm place, so if you live in a warm place, you have access to food all year round. And so you're incentivized to just, chill, go with life, day to day. Whereas if you live in a really cold place, you have to prepare for winter. So you have to start planning on how am I going to survive.
Right.
Yeah, but also, man, when you're in Fiji, you can't even think.
Yeah.
I fully get when the waiter comes over and it
100%.
says, "What's your special today?" Like,
Yeah.
fish.
It's hard to.
It's like, and I'm sitting there being like, "Oh yeah, I know fishing." Yeah,
That's how I
You
feel in
can't
Brisbane.
think.
That's how I feel in Brisbane too.
exactly.
It's too fucking hot.
Yeah, humidity completely slow-mo's your
Oh my
brain.
God, it does. Yeah, it
And
really does.
I'm telling you from experience, being in cold supercharges your brain. I think it's exactly what he's saying. It's
Yeah.
just like, fuck, I need to survive. That's exactly what
There's
it is.
that
Yeah.
and the other Guns, Germs, and Steel view, which is it's just the shape of the continent. So Europe expands from like west to east. So all of your farming knowledge is applicable wherever you go.
Right.
But like Asia, like Africa ranges from north to south. So the climate varies so much that any information that you gain, let's say in the south of Africa, is completely irrelevant a few hundred kilometers up
Right.
there.
Yeah.
So you're just never able to develop that community knowledge.
Yeah, you have a rich tapestry. I still think it's the cold thing.
We should
swear to
put we
God.
should put artificial more snow in Australia to
Yes.
to basically kind of force that to happen here.
Totally.
Dude, that's a myth. Australia has like some of the most
I know.
snow in the
I mean,
world.
it doesn't seem
Really?
like it.
What are you
does it?
talking about?
Here we
No.
go. See, this is the whole thing about Mislav. He has 30-year-old boomer opinions, but boomer knowledge.
Wait, is this
No,
actually-
he knows
We
these
don't
things.
have the most snow in the world. what are you talking about?
we have like more than like some area that would surprise
Wait,
you.
so-
Yeah, like
Where is
like
it?
near the equator.
I don't know. There's a shitload of snow here.
No, we're the flattest continent in the world.
Google how much snow falls a year.
Okay.
Where is
what
it?
if you're wrong?
Well, I mean, it's, like there's more in Russia, but there's a lot.
Right.
More in Russia.
I can't remember the number, but it was some. It was one of those like factoids that was like, "Did you know there's more
Is
snow?"
this like
that
you like
falls-"
snowboard and Threadbow once? It was like, oh, it's heaps of snow.
No, I read it on. No, I pieced it together
Fuck,
mostly.
man. Look at that.
Oh,
Milo
look at that!
kids.
It's all. It's like looks like it's off a movie.
It's a more like pieced it together mostly from chip packets. It's all that kind of thing.
Right. Okay. I mean, I don't.
It is amazing how much of the world he has pieced together from sugar packets.
Yeah, but
though.
he's
I'm
also
impressed
wrong.
by it.
The first thing I read is like Canada. Of course, it is Canada.
No, but no, we're not looking for the most.
It was
We're
something
saying,
like
It's more.
Japan
I reckon it's
and
Japan
Canada.
or something.
Yeah, it was something
Japan
like
and
that.
Canada are the top two.
Keep
Okay.
going.
Highest snowfalls.
Now let's measure it with IQ.
Japan still wins.
What? Damn it! I wish I remember the whole fact now, but it was something like, "Did you know?" And I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" Like totally wicked, you know.
I bet you the fact was, did you know Australia has the
Fuck
least
all.
amount of
Yeah,
snow
yeah.
in the
It
world?
wasn't that. It
Even
wasn't
less than the
that.
Sahara Desert.
It wasn't. I think it was more than America.
United States
no
at
way.
4, Norway at 5, North Korea at 6,
What
China
was
at
this?
7,
Damn you, factoid!
Nepal at 8, Russia at 9. So you were wrong about that too.
What
And
was?
the list is over. I'm sorry, Australia.
They
didn't even make the
10.
list.
They didn't even have 10.
Damn
So
you,
obviously Australia was
factoid! Maybe 11. 11. It was. I'll find out next time. It was something like zany and crazy about the
Okay.
snow.
There you go. Hey, are you glad that you lived in LA though? Live.
Yeah.
Do you live there?
I do. I kind of spend 6 months here, 6 months.
No
there. Yeah.
way.
I mean,
Take me with you.
oh,
I just want to eat more tacos.
Exactly. That's the only reason he wants to go. He just wants to eat tacos.
oh, they are nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
tacos are really good.
So
Mexican
good.
food's great in LA. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of my friends there, and it's a different experience. But
Let's out you in the
Yeah.
pod. What part of LA specifically?
I'm in Silver Lake. Which
Oh, the hipster part.
Yes.
The cool area.
I do regret it though because
You and Mac DeMarco.
well, I don't need to live there. Like, because I'm paying for all this hipster stuff that I'm not really utilizing, so I could probably live in a much cheaper
Nah,
place.
dude.
But wouldn't the much cheaper place put you on the highway for 3 hours a day?
Yeah, and probably like likely to be killed.
Dude,
killed too, but it's
everything,
worth
yeah.
it. Like it's expensive.
worth it.
It is expensive.
It's
That's
expensive.
what it is. Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, it's more expensive than here.
It's a cool area.
It is cool. It is nice to be there. It's it's America. We all like. I've still when I go there,
Yeah.
I've got that like.
Yeah, it's like
people have American accents.
Yeah.
You kind of never get
the
sick of
movies.
Over it.
It's like
Okay.
the
Never get over it.
movies. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Okay.
cool.
But-
That's very
Are they fascinated by your accent?
I don't. Yeah, I guess I remember I went to Starbucks once and I ordered a coffee and he was like, "Here you go, mate." Like,
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to say that for some reason. I don't know why.
yeah,
It just
So-
happens.
but that's like the most you get. I don't know. I think in LA probably less so because there's a lot of transplants as they call them, like from different, even from America. You know, like if you want to be a star, they'll come from
Yeah.
all states in America and especially Europe and
Is it
Australia.
sort of like how I imagine you walk down the street and some guy with a ponytail says, "Excuse me, I assume that you're a ripper animator. How would you like to work for Disney?"
With tiny glasses. There's little circular
that
glasses.
No,
Does he take the circular glasses like? One moment, please. Right, where was I? You're
That's how I like it, covered in fog.
No, you're just like, where was I? Star. That's how it goes, doesn't it?
No, you can't. Not.
Yeah,
really,
come on,
no.
it does.
No, it doesn't.
I swear to God, it must be so much easier to make it in Hollywood than it is Australia.
Oh, 100 times more. Yeah, for that aspect, it's great. Like I was pitching to SBS and ABC for like 10 years, and it was nothing. Like,
Isn't it incredible?
Fuck this country, man.
Dude,
Well, it's just-
fuck ABC and SBS.
yeah.
Yeah, they're the shittest
They're
thing.
the reason for brain drain.
SBS is worse than the ABC because
Oh, really?
SBS is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Telstra of the world.
Yeah.
Like you know what the worst thing ever invented? Something that is both private and public at the same time. That is
Really?
awful.
It's the one that got away from me. I had a chance.
Here we go. Tell now.
Oh my God, Miss, you never were in the running.
I was
Hitting
in
out
the
all
running.
the
I was in the
classics
running.
today,
I was in
isn't
the
he?
running.
Now listen to this story and tell me.
What story?
Was
There's no
his
story.
life? Is this?
Exactly. There
The
was
story
nothing.
was
Go on. Listen to
getting
this
a-
and tell. Give
could
us your
get a
honest
job,
thoughts on it.
Didn't get the job. That's
No, tell the story. Tell the
I
details.
don't know the fuck. That's the story. My mum was like, "I'm gonna get you. I have an in for a job. Like you can get the job most likely." And I didn't get the job.
Sorry, what was the job?
I can barely remember. It was something along the lines of like, I think it was an internship even.
At SBS.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares?
No. Yeah, exactly.
sorry, I didn't mean
Exactly.
that.
He cares.
No. It wouldn't. Who cares? Look
But
where you
also,
are now,
does it
dude.
sound like? Does it sound like he
Still not
has?
helping.
This is much better than being at the SBS.
It is much better.
Yeah.
I know, but you've got you got fucking the same shit. You tried to
He was-
intern
okay,
at
this
fucking
is what
Yeah,
actually
but I
happened.
wasn't.
And the ABC.
Exactly, but I don't think that I was going to get a job
No,
there.
but the only reason we think the ABC and SBS is cool is like because of Kath and Kim and Fast Forward. It's not that anymore. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
This is much
Yeah.
cooler. What you're doing is like
Yeah, way
people
cooler.
at the ABC would die to have everything you've got. So
Exactly.
it's the different
Totally.
era.
It's just PTSD.
Yeah, it is. Well,
You
I
see
still
that
think it's very
weird,
cool.
you see that weird diamondy thing. You just start like,
Miss, you were never in the
but I don't think,
running.
honestly,
I was in the running.
You
His
weren't
mom-
in the running.
His mom came to him while he was on the couch playing Tekken and said, "Oh, maybe I can get you a job at the SBS." And he was like, "Oh, sick." And then he was dreaming.
No,
and then his mom came back. Sorry, I can't.
I went over there and put a piece of paper on a table.
Really?
and they
A blank
chucked
piece
it
of
out.
paper. And I didn't get the
A4
job.
paper.
Can you believe it? I showed them.
But that's A4.
I showed them all my accomplishments in life.
They're jealous.
And what was on that paper? Out of curiosity,
like some bullshit resume.
what had you done?
I can't remember. It was a
Exactly.
while ago.
I would love to see that resume.
Yeah, it would have said Red
Even
Centre
if
Crow's
you-
Nest.
Huh?
Lane Cove, Northwood, fucking River Road Tennis Centre.
I'm telling
Wow,
you.
how did you not replace Lee Lin Chin on 6 o'clock?
I'm telling you, it would have
I know.
been. It would have been. It's much better the way it went because you would have gone there and you would have probably seen behind the curtain.
It would have been crap.
And you would have gotten jaded.
It would have been crap.
Leave the memories to cool SBS.
Totally.
Watching South Park on SBS at
Naked
whatever-
News, whatever the fuck
Naked
it was.
News. I used to watch Naked News. That's great. I remember that.
Just late at night. Like, come on,
Yeah,
baby,
that's much-
take it off.
That's much cooler. That's a
good.
better memory. It would, it's wouldn't
You're
be
right.
like
You're
that
right.
now.
You're right. You're right.
All right, boys, we're running. Can we do one political segment?
Haven't we? We've done a. Yeah,
Did we
I mean,
do
we did like we
heaps?
did 30.
did we?
But yes, we can.
No, the
yeah,
fans-
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
fans-
I want to
want
hear
us to
more about
talk
Silver
about-
Lake.
Woolworths and
Oh,
bread.
fuck's sake, not Woolworths. Fuck, they never wanted, they just want constantly, I don't know why, this is all Australia is now. It's just moved from, I don't know, The Voice to going, Coles is expensive in the United States. Yes, it's expensive, we get it.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
no, but
but-
you know it's because of COVID though, right? Because after COVID they raised the prices.
And they
Are
raised
you-
it more
are
than
you
they
sure
should
you
have.
reckon
Coles is better or Woolies? Oh, what about Aldi? What do you
Well,
think about
Aldi's
Aldi?
good, but
Yeah.
you know it's just unfortunate that their prices aren't
Yeah,
what
how
they
can
used
Zoomers
to
say
be.
we're not cool and not with it, and they have the same opinions as fucking 80-year-olds, like complaining about groceries?
They put this stuff on the floor. That's what confuses me. They put this cardboard on the floor. That's what I don't
No,
like.
I don't like that at
But
all.
I like the cheapness.
cheapness is good.
It
But not the
shows-
Not
cardboard.
the cardboard.
You all of you.
Aldi's too cheap. It is too
That's
cheap.
not
It is
believable.
too cheap.
Grapes there at Aldi. I don't know if there's grapes.
Yeah, everyone's complaining about Coles and Woolies. No one complains about that. It hasn't fucking changed your dime.
Actually, fuck it. What do you think of Aldi?
I know my mum loves Aldi and she raves about
Mum's
it.
always
Yeah,
loved
mum's-
Aldi.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
mums
there's an
love
Aldi
Aldi.
that just opened. Yeah, I think it's a very good idea. I wish it was Australian owned. I
Yeah.
always thought it was like a competitor to Coles and Woolies.
Yeah, because
to
it
make them-
kind of looks like Ansett.
Yeah,
Hey, are your parents proud of you?
yeah. I think so.
Do not cry.
I think so.
You cannot cry.
I,
bitch.
like I think it took a time. Like I think early on it was like it's weird doing anything creative and explaining that to them.
Yeah.
But now it's like
Hell yeah, you live in LA.
when it's more successful.
Does
Yeah.
I don't know your parents at all, but is your dad like, can you fly me out to Los Angeles?
No, he's not. But like, I don't like it'd be. My mum was gonna go, but she cancelled it because it was like too long. It's a long. It's like 14 hours.
Yeah,
Did
it's
she
a
say,
long
quote, I don't want to be a bother?
No, yeah, I think it was a little bit of that. She didn't say that exactly. She definitely thought it. But that,
I love it.
as Boomer's doing that trip is like, it's a long trip, so I understand. Like, oh bloody, but I'd go to Melbourne and it's 1 hour, 14. It is long.
Yeah.
Yeah, also,
Hey, you fly
boomers
business
from
class, right?
Wollongong don't
No.
dream about going to LA.
Nah, they don't.
Economy,
They don't.
yeah.
How much is business?
Oh gosh, it's expensive. Yeah, it's like 6-7 grand. Like economy's like 2-3 grand. It's expensive.
I reckon it's worth the $6 fucking grand.
Wait, $6 grand
I
to
reckon it's
fly?
worth the $6 grand.
Yeah,
Oh,
for business. I don't do that. I do
Dude,
economy.
don't even say
Yeah, but like,
it.
what
I
if someone
I
is flying
can't
you
do
over? You don't go
economy
like,
anymore. It's,
Maybe
know.
it depends. Like
Te-
if you can
tell
leverage
them.
I'll get a
about
loan if I have to.
Tell
I'm
them about
sick
our
of it.
flight. Tell them about our flight.
What flight?
The flight that we were on yesterday.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That
What?
was so bad.
Dude, I have this theory,
There was
right?
this fat Chinese man behind us going
for like 6 hours from
constantly, like for
Perth.
6 hours behind it, and I could feel particles of phlegm
The
hitting
new
me.
COVID
I'm getting the new fucking era of COVID. It was so bad. And then
It
just
was so
staring back and looking at his face, and he had a really dumb blank face with like an indented skull. He looks like a damaged his head looked like a damaged jelly bean, and to have that man going
He's not
I'm gonna die
exaggerating.
because of him.
It was like, oh,
I told you the business class hack. Just do it next time.
Yeah, but
It's
how
much
much do you
cheaper.
save?
If it's a
$200.
$6,000 flight, then you will save.
What's the hack? What's the hack?
4,000.
4,000.
Yeah, this is the hack. Listen to me.
What's the hack?
Just do it. First of all, wherever you're traveling, find out which airline lets you bid on business class. Get a ticket with them. Get an economy class ticket with them. Once a 1 week before your flight, they're going to send you an email saying, would you like to bid for a business class flight?
Really?
Do the minimum bid, or if you feel like you really can't risk it, do slightly above minimum, and you're going to get the business class flight 8 out of 10 times.
Holy shit.
Wow.
That's actually.
Maybe they won't now because you've put it out there, and
Oh, shit.
everyone's going to do
Well,
To
it
a
was-
whopping
well, now
90
too late.
people.
90 people.
No,
Yeah.
but YouTube
But I've traveled business class a couple of times through this hack.
Remember, wasn't it
Okay.
amazing? Once he was in the Daily Mail, and it just came up as they didn't even put his name.
I
in.
hated that.
Came
That
up
was
with
the
some,
worst thing in
park
the
a
world.
in Sydney, and then it just came up with like anonymous man leaves great.
No, it
was
wasn't even
so-
anonymous. It was Jordan Shank's friend. I was like, I've got a name.
Oh, that's so good.
who the fuck wrote that article?
It's a Daily Mail.
Someone
writer.
was watching it, and
AI.
like it was a really good hack.
The Daily Mail. What is the Daily Mail? Is it from England? What is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're.
What the hell is that?
It's a bunch of teenagers that are
Okay.
forced to write 300 articles a day.
Gotcha.
And so wins purely on volume, constantly
So
just
just
pumping
crap.
shit out.
Taylor Swift did insert
Taylor Swift,
you know,
Abby
yeah.
Chatfield.
Yeah.
What's your relationship with the media? Like, do you have relationships with
Good.
journalists?
Oh yeah,
Very
yeah,
cordial.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. When he goes to Christmas, there's like Channel 7 table, Channel 9, Channel 10.
Like,
I have
think
to
about-
make the rounds.
Sandra
I'm so
Sully
popular
passed
with
Think
it.
about it this
Soul.
way: his house gets firebombed. He comes out, the media's there, and he says, "I hate you more than the guy that firebombed."
But I always think of it like this. Like, I imagine these journalists have kids that are Friendly Geordies fans, and they probably talk to their parents want to impress their kids and seem cool. So I would be like, oh, I work at 7. Oh, can I get an exclusive with Friendly Geordies and make my Friendly Geordies son proud of me? So do you ever get those kind of people?
Never.
They're
Not once.
petrified of him. I
And,
met
and they should
Husey.
be because I'm unbelievably hostile towards them.
they're
Once one of them
scared.
came up to me and said like, "Hey, can we just get like a photo for the recognition of it?" And my response was, I was driving past and he says, "Hey, can we just get a photo of your firebomb?" And like he said, like the most innocuous thing ever. Tapped on my window for it, and I just wound down the window and vulture. and drove off.
That's a great story.
Seen how sad this man was in the rear view. Just going,
They are all
so like
petrified.
you can't. I
Isn't that a good
cannot
story?
explain how much I hate them. I can't explain it. I've been
All of
trying for the
them?
last 10 years.
All of them.
Every last one of them.
Cameraman, even.
Yeah, fuck the camera.
But so does Trump, and he still becomes like a media machine, and it helps them. It helps him. Wouldn't they then be like, oh, Vulture, that's a great.
Yeah, but
that's
they
a
don't have
great
the same
story.
enterprising spirit as Americans. This
Yeah,
is the
right.
problem with it, right? So in America, exactly what you're saying. They look at Trump and they see dollar signs, so they'll put up with the abuse and be like, yeah, that's right. Call me scum again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not happens in
So
Australia.
it's different here. That isn't the same. Why do you think that is?
Because we're just an extremely uninnovative, unambitious, toe the line.
But you'd think if we've got Murdoch, influence in Australia, that would still I mean, we're very Americanized when it comes to media as well. Like it kind of like that's probably the most we are. You'd think that's a story. Like Friendly Geordies hates the media. They
Yeah,
don't
no.
jump. I guess they just don't jump on opportunities as well as Americans. But they kind of.
No, they
I'm
don't
sure
jump
they'd
on it
want
at all.
to. They would want to.
I don't think they do. I honestly think everybody in the media rocks up, complains about the Danish being cold. The teleprompter goes on. He's like, "Hi, I'm Mark Wallace here, and I'm finding it difficult to read the teleprompter because I'm getting close to 75 years old."
I have a different theory as to why it's different over here.
Holy shit.
The media concentration is so much in Australia. And because Jordan's content isn't just like a standard, he's making political videos with a particular message, our media can be controlled enough to deprive him of oxygen. Whereas in the US, there's so many media outlets that they're all fighting for attention so much that they'll pick on something like
But
that.
what
True
is-
that.
That's I like that theory, but what is the actual benefit to depriving the oxygen? Wouldn't you think there'd be more pros, pluses, and more money coming out of something like
Look, so-
a Friendly
No,
Geordies
no.
story?
I honestly, if you're going to say that, First off, the whole point that the media operates here is, look, you can make the argument in America that the media operates to make money. That's not its primary reason, but that is one of the reasons that it operates. In Australia, it is purely designed for Liberal Party propaganda.
It's not even profitable here.
It's not even profitable. It runs at a loss, and they keep it going for that. So it's not. And they've realised after doing a couple of hit jobs on me that what happens is I just tear them to shreds. They get mercilessly harangued on Twitter and they start crying, and then and they've just got nothing to show for it. They've just given me oxygen, so they've realised the best thing to do is to starve it.
That does
So he
make
is right about
that. Yeah, the project. Have they ever done any Friendly Geordie's piece?
Well, yeah, actually, Waleed Ali did dispassionately mention my name once. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah. But the big win for me is the highlight of my career, and everything else I'm ashamed of, apart from the fact that on The Chase, Larry Emder, in one of the passing 60 questions that he has to ask a minute on that show, goes to the brain on the show and says, YouTube star Friendly Geordie's real name is Jordan, and then the little freak with the bulging brain goes, thanks. And then they move on, and I was just like, wow, that is as high as you can fucking get in this
But
country.
it's like-
Larry Emder knows who I am.
Yeah.
What is like? I think I know, but like, what is your goal into like? Where do you want to get to? Do you want to be like a self-sufficient media company that's rivaling them, or is where you at right now, where it's like it's cool, it's counterculture in a way? Sorry, it's been living in LA too much, but like, is it? What is the end goal?
That would be an incredible end goal, to create a media empire where you can actually rival their narrative. That would be
Well, I think you're already doing that.
astonishing.
Like, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of.
You're getting there.
I'm
Yeah.
getting there, but you really cannot compete with Peter
can't
Costello
compete with
owning
CIA.
half of it.
CIA, yeah.
You can't
They're
compete
pretty
with
big.
CIA.
They're pretty big, yeah. No, but all the kids are savvy. The kids are savvy to it. They
Yeah, but
actually
they're not
are.
though. They're to the other way now. Now those kids give me the shits as well, because they sit there. First off, they 1-to-1 correlate Australia with America and go like, "It's like Republican Democrat." They do that first, and then the second thing is that they've just got this like, yeah, you know what's critical thinking? Just being critical all the time. It's like, no, dude, that's like. Sorry, that I know in the dictionary they're very similar words, but like they're just that. They're just constantly complaining and bitching.
When you say that, do you mean because some of the people that might be more American conservative and see someone like Trump and they like them would like argue with you and say, well, the Liberal Party can be our Republican Party and we can get like like someone that's similar, like a Trump or a out of the box libertarian in a way through the Liberal Party more likely than the Labor Party. So you should like the Liberal Party more. Do they say things like that?
That's way too intelligent for their opinion.
Okay.
Like it's just like, you are a soy boy. That's it. Facts. That's it.
Facts.
That's it. But like basically, like if they could, they would say that.
Right. So that's what's behind it.
Yeah, but that's half of them. And then like all the Zoomers sit there and they're just like, did you know that Labor's funded by fossil fuel companies? I read it on a meme that was funded by the Greens.
Yeah.
And they're those fuckwits.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know, like at some point you just lit there and you're just like, what is the point? What is the
Would you?
fucking
Okay, we're talking about like forks in the road before One Piece. Would you rather? Would you rather take the media route, journalist route, media empire, or politics route, like politician?
Oh, I'm not taking the politician.
Okay,
route.
so that route's gone. That's not happening.
That's never happening.
Okay.
I would get eaten in a second. There is
you
no way.
wouldn't, but you'd be.
I'm-
I think
I'm
you'd be
not
If you're the
clean
kind of guy
enough.
that can make a window go down, and go vulture, and put it back up. That's like what you'd read in a classic Prime Minister book. Like, oh my god, you really did that. So
You could be
You
a
could do it in the 20s.
yeah.
You could be like a Pauline Hanson type cat.
I could be a Pauline Hanson. That's what I could do. I could be in the Senate
Jordan
with
will
like
never
two other
become the
senators
Prime
going,
Minister.
yeah.
Why? I mean, if you wanted to, why do you think no?
Man, like
There's no way. First off, the Labor Party apparatus despises me regardless. That's the first hurdle. The second hurdle is, even if you got into the Labor Party apparatus, the media would be unbelievably hostile to me. It actually does matter when you have some likability points like Albo does with the media. Like he spent the last 30 years having dinners with them and shit, so they're not too fucking harsh on him.
Right.
Like there is like a bit of like, the press also just have this thing of like, he snubbed me at a movie premiere once. Fuck him. They
Isn't
have
it
a bit
kind
of that.
Wait, so you're saying like it'd be hard because of the mean comments, the nasty journalism? Because it's
The,
almost
the
like
journalism would be ruthless. It would be
but
so.
isn't that kind of funny? Like running for like,
It's funny. It's look.
wouldn't it be fueling?
It can work in America. It can work in America, not here.
Why not,
Not
though?
here because they can just they can set the atmosphere entirely because they basically control the entire narrative, right? Like there's very little. There's basically just like bullshit little cultural differences from SBS to like Sky. But when it comes to like their general opinion on like policy matters and things like that, it's pretty much exactly the same. And they all pick up on an attitude and then they smack you with that. Like, for instance, Kevin Rudd is the most popular prime minister we've ever had. And they tanked that cunt. And he was still more popular than Tony Abbott when they tanked him. And it's purely because they just set up an attitude in the public. And then that's what everyone... That's the vibe.
It is hard because it's kind of the nature of it. Even if the best prime ministers, presidents, leaders in history obviously had a lot of haters as well. It's like,
Yeah.
when Napoleon was dethroned, like he had fruit and stuff thrown in him when he's going to Elba or St. Helena or whatever. It's like they would have thought, no one's going to remember you. Like it would be like they would have all probably hated him when he was at his lowest. And then, history says something else, all the pros.
History always looks back at every Labor Prime Minister extremely fondly. It's just this time, for some random reason, they're not the party they used to be,
But also it depends on the time. Napoleon came in a context where like France had just gone through a revolution. It was horribly poor and there was just guillotine. It was anarchy. So like military generals started gaining prominence and that's how like Napoleon sort of got there. If France had never gone through that revolution, I don't know if Napoleon would have come into power.
But that's the thing. You can equate it. This doesn't mean it's I'm making Australia sound like the 40,000 people are getting their heads cut off in France. But in Australia right now, everyone is disillusioned by their politicians. Probably much worse than 100 years ago. I'm assuming they probably did still dislike their leaders, but now it's really bad. It feels like it's the ripe time. Like Clive Palmer was scratching at something with being a kind of third-party candidate in that way. But I think the people do want something different. And someone coming out as a left-of-field YouTuber or something like that, that isn't that crazy. That kind of is like a Napoleon story in a way, where it's like
exactly what happened with the Ukrainian president.
Yeah,
the guy,
comedian.
he was some
really?
comedian, right?
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was on some TV show about being the president.
Oh, shit.
And his video went viral from the show where he's saying why he should be the president, and they made him the president.
Italy had a
because of-
comedian too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did they get him a comedian?
Yeah.
You're right about this, Michael. There is something about like comedian and political comedians getting into office.
Yeah,
People love it.
Yeah,
They
there's
want
a
them.
I mean, they'll still
correlation.
hate them when they get into office. It's the nature of it. It's that thing of like, if you're going to be an entertainer, like the Trumps, the Ronald Reagans, things like that, if 90% of people love you, you go into politics, there'll be 50% of people will hate you, 50% of people will love you. That's just the nature of it. So just taking that in stride will come with it. But it's still, my only point is it's still possible. It's not impossible. It's definitely can happen.
It's possible, but you should ask this question to yourself: does Jordan have the aptitude for it?
Look, Prime Minister, maybe you don't want to do that, but at least in politics, like see in the Senate.
Dude, he could easily get elected.
I reckon I could easily get into the Senate.
Yeah.
That's not hard. You can get into the Senate with 12 votes.
Wouldn't that be cool?
There's people that have offered me a position to like run for local council just because of my involvement.
Yeah. Would you ever do that?
Where's
Probably
my
not.
offers?
He'd like it.
What?
He'd like
Where's my
Yeah, no, he
office?
wouldn't run. He'd just get an easy bureaucrat job.
Yeah, no, but they were straight up. Like my local council said that we would like you as the candidate.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
No, but the reason
be
behind
good
it
at it.
is
You'd be
the
good at
reason
it. Why
behind
would-
it is that I have access
Yeah.
to friendly Geordies and like
Yeah.
a lot of marketing.
I think you
still
do
use
well. I don't think you do well at your media conference things. You'd be like,
Yeah,
you
I do
people
do-
are pigs.
Yeah, I'd do that for
It'd
sure.
be bad.
But I mean, Trump did that, and like he still, whether you like him or not, he still became the president.
Yeah, but you can do that in America. You can't do it here.
But why?
Because you don't need to. You don't need to win the majority. Everyone in Australia has to vote. Basically, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, yeah, that's a
Trump
good
is
point.
extremely popular with 30% of the population that are
That's a good point.
diehards.
That's a good point.
And maybe another 10% will drag their feet to vote for him.
Yeah,
But 60% of the population fucking hate him, which is exactly what happens as soon as you're like boisterous and charismatic. There's
Do you
going to
really
be
think so? Like, I just think that it's in their culture to definitely have the option of voting. So a lot of people are apolitical or just can't. They could probably still support Trump or the other party, but just don't vote. But wouldn't those statistics kind of even out in a way? Because it's still split opinions. Is it like? Because I'm just saying, like, wouldn't you still have an amount of people that do like Trump not voting, similar to the amount of people that don't like him?
No, it would be an absolute blue wave, as in the Republicans would never have a chance of getting voted in ever again if they had compulsory voting in the US. It just wouldn't happen.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes
absolutely.
sense.
It's not even close. They've done the polling on this before. It's pure, because the way that the Republicans get in is by appealing to really niche, culty groups like the evangelicals and gun nuts and shit. Right.
Right,
But I mean,
yeah.
Democrats are still getting illegal votes too. So wouldn't that balance out?
I mean, that is true, though, right?
Huh?
Democrats.
No, you can't get a
vote.
legal vote. You can't get a legal vote.
I'm sure that
No, the theory behind it is, which is true,
Stop
which is that
watching
you put a
Gavin
bunch of
McInnes.
I haven't watched Gavin McInnes for like a year.
You're an
Illegal votes
illegal
is-
citizen. Like you
illegal
can't.
votes are still up in the air. The taxes thing is definitely. I mean, whatever.
But you know, Jordan is actually right. Like, only 28% of the population like Trump, and only 32% of the population vote against him. The rest of the population just doesn't even participate in the process.
Yeah, right.
They might be watching videos, but they're never voting.
But that other 30%. So there's you're saying there's data and the polls being undone on this on what they would have voted if they did vote, basically, and it's more Democrat.
There's more Democrat because the Democrats are, you know, a functional parliamentary party. This is Chomsky's point all the time, which is that the Republicans aren't.
Yeah.
They're basically a terrorist organization. More or less, though, right? Like, and incredibly villainy. No one in the history, they can sit there and say Hitler was bad all they like. They're sitting there basically being like, here's our plan. We want to destroy the world. Like, have you ever seen a Republican primary?
Good
It is the most
prophets,
terrifying thing I've ever seen, especially the ones now after Trump. You go and watch it. All that it had in the background, it was so dystopic. It was the most dystopic, scary thing I've ever seen. This massive, every year the flag gets bigger. It just comes on its bigger and bigger fucking screen. So they have to like pan out like it's a fucking old school movie projection theater. And you have these tiny ants at the bottom of this flag.
Can I just interject for a second? You were saying before that you wanted to live in a country that is like a dictatorship and something like that. Are you
Hell
sure
yeah.
this isn't your Australian bias going up being very embarrassed of the flag that makes you think a country showing a flag is a bad thing? Because why is that a bad thing, really? Like when you think of it, if a country's showing their flag, what's wrong with that?
It's not. There's nothing wrong with the flag per se.
Stop bragging the flag, man.
No, but I only say, I'm not, like, by the way, I don't care. I'm not looking at being like, God bless the United States singing a massive flag. But I do find it interesting, the flag embarrassment coming from Australia. Because that is even Democrats and Republicans, it's actually like, they both agree on this. They just like, yeah, sure. Cool.
That's
You know
true.
what? It is true, but I just realized it's becoming less true. There are more like
No,
flag
yeah, but
burnings.
what? I
That's a
get the
different
point, and
thing.
it's
It's a
absolutely
different-
true. And I hate the. It's not every Australian anyway. It's just any Australian that we interact with in the inner city. The rest of them, you go out anywhere in the Gold Coast or anything, it's just like, yeah, it's as big as the one in the primaries.
Yeah. But I also agree.
Smacking their house
But
and knocking it down. Because
But I
of how
also
big it
agree,
is.
for some reason, it feels trashier when we do it. I don't know. Maybe we just don't have the best flag either. The fact that we've got the Union Jack, we've got another person's
Yeah, but
flag.
I
too.
think that's fucking awesome. I love the Union Jack on our flag. It's
Yeah.
just like, know your place in the world. It's mad.
Yeah.
It's very us. It's very like, just stick in your fucking lane and you're not shit.
Yeah, and
I
always-
like that. And
always
like the
remember.
American one is just like, not enough stars. It's like,
Yeah.
I think there's enough.
Sorry,
Americans care about their flag way more than Aussies do.
Yeah.
Well, they care about it more than anyone else in the world.
For
really.
them, it's like the Bible. Like you
love
can't.
that flag.
I remember in 2017, Jordan had put up a profile picture on his Friendly Jordy's page where he's wearing a shirt that said "Hillary for prison,"
Yeah.
and he was lying on an American flag. And there was. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Got so much hate, not for suggesting that the presidential candidate should
Yeah,
go to
lying,
prison,
yeah.
but because he was lying on an American
Yeah.
flag. Like they
Yeah.
did not appreciate it at all.
Yes.
Yeah, it was that, and then when I made fun of some little half monkey, half man in a video briefly for Hindus, and then they were just like, "I'll kill you, you motherfucker." It's like the most sacred things in the world: the American flag and this little monkey freak thing.
And in comparison, like for 2 years, our podcast background was just the Simpsons flag, the Australian flag
the
from
boot.
the Simpsons, the boot.
Yeah.
And
no
most of our
one ever
generation
said, like,
legitimately
"What are you
thinks
doing?"
change the flag to that.
Yeah. I mean,
Never
it
has
kinda
any.
is that.
No one ever
Kind of is
said
that.
like this is
Yeah.
kind of like you should probably change this. Never.
Yeah. I think it was because it had the Simpsons kind of connotation to it too. It softened it maybe. Because was it the?
Yeah,
was
it
the-
does. Yeah,
yeah.
it does. Because they're just like, oh,
Wasn't
it's a
big
joke.
Wasn't like an Australian flag from like the Cronulla riots, like with
Nah.
blood on it, and just like
Nah.
The
Yeah.
flag, like there's certain things for Australians that is a bit touchy, like talking about like Anzac spirit and stuff.
Yeah.
But the flag is not one of them. They just for some reason don't give a fuck about the flag.
I mean, some people.
They give a fuck about changing the flag.
Some people. do.
Yeah, well, that's the Republican debate.
Sorry,
right?
do you mean like it's not controversial? Like, do you mean they don't care about it because in a way where they're not passionate about it and like think it's patriotic, or do you mean they don't care about it and think it's controversial? As in, like, I guess it's both.
It
right?
depends who you ask.
Yeah, depending who you're asking.
But they just don't like they're not emotionally invested to that design.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Well,
They
yeah.
like the idea of Australia and they're very passionate about that, but just the representation of a flag is not that big of a deal.
Do you know what I think Australia it would be good? I think what would unite us all a little bit is leaning into the bit more of the Australian, like for every country kind of has their tropes and archetypes and cliches. Like France, obviously baguettes and whatever else.
Boxing
Ireland.
kangaroo is our flag.
I think that's a brand. Like lean into the stuff that people like about Australia. A little bit, I think like there's Simpsons jokes and everything. Like I don't know if you saw that Facebook petition where it was like change dollars to dollary dues. Why not? Like actually,
Why not? That was a good one.
Like
That was a
Yeah,
good one.
I agree. It'd be
But no
funny.
attachment to dollars. It's
Just lean into the
introduced in
bit.
the 60s.
I think it would just make it more interesting.
Australians like being laughed at.
But yeah, well, sorry, you go.
No, so like this is one thing that I noticed when I first came to this country. I remember like I kind of got offended at how British people talked about Australians. They were just like, because for a lot of them, like they'd watch Neighbours because they think of like us as like their retarded cousins. And I would initially would be like a friend who's like, what are you doing? But like no Australian has ever given a shit. They love the fact that they're laughing at them for being stupid.
Yeah, we love it, and we should now profit on it. We should take it, like, actually use it. Get the dollary dues.
Hell yeah.
Put the stupid Simpson stuff on the flags and make it more official and own it, and then it's actually ours. Or then it would become lame, but I don't think it would.
No, I don't think it'll get
Like,
lame.
for a good
Because that's
example,
just our culture.
A good example, like Waltzing Matilda, actually just should be the anthem. Like that should definitely be changed. Like why not? Like everyone.
It's a great
agrees.
song.
Like
It's a
if
great
you ever
song.
go to like Waltzing Matilda on YouTube, everyone's like, "This is the real anthem. That's the black." Like, if I could change, it should actually. If that is what everyone thinks it should be, like, why are we depriving what Australians actually think is their anthem for their anthem? Do
What
you know
about
I
this
mean?
though? Come on. Back in Black.
I was going to
Wouldn't
say
be
that or
sick.
Tommy is a working class man.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cold Chisel actually is the real anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that fucking K-San song?
Which one?
You know, it's like, you know, K-San or whatever. No. Yeah. It's just another one of his songs where it's just like, people came back from Vietnam, don't be mean to them. K-San, last train out of Sydney.
Yeah, okay, that's not going to be
The
the
new
anthem.
Australian anthem.
Yeah,
But it's like last train
That
out of
song.
Sydney's almost gone. It's like last train out of Sydney's almost gone.
nah, it's too whiny, that song, don't you reckon? Come on, how good would it be at the Olympics to just be like, Andy and Thorpe?
You know Brian Johnson's Scottish. This is Welsh or something.
And so are we.
But seriously, like what? How cool would that be? You're right, though. Like it should be that.
No, it should be
Should be
Bon
that. It
Scott.
should be
It should be
black and white.
fucking. It has to be Bon Scott. If you
Which
say
song?
seriously.
The
Highway to
Thunderstruck?
Hell. Thunderstruck's also
Highway to Hell
Brian Johnson.
is way too
Brian
hectic.
Johnson's. That's fucking also fucking.
What about
Brian
Hell's Bells? Who did that?
Brian Johnson? You just fucking love the Welsh, don't you?
Yeah, I love him. I love him.
Yeah.
He's the only
No,
man that I think should have one of those stupid little golf hats.
No, it has to be.
And his voice
big-
is funny.
No, it has to be.
That
it
plays
has
into
to-
the
how
meme
about-
that he's talking
How
about.
about big balls?
Oh yeah.
No.
I've got big balls, and he's got big
Wasn't
balls.
Waltzing
If that
Waltzing
was
Matilda
the
isn't even
song
an
that
Australian
unites
song.
the nation.
Is it
The
not?
Bon Scott
I think
has
it's-
big balls.
Yeah, I think Waltzing Matilda was like a Scottish writer or something. It's not even by an Australian.
Who? What?
And I don't like waltzing
yeah, I
Matilda. Why
suppose.
does everyone like it? It's about stealing a sheep.
Yeah, but it's just it makes you feel.
And dancing with it.
But like that's what I mean about
Dancing
leaning into
with
the
it.
bit. It's so like nothing that it's kind of funny.
Yeah, but that's a trap because like as soon as like the government agrees to it, there's gonna be a new joke, and this joke is gonna be
I
lame.
think you might be right.
Yeah, dude.
And I
And
don't
then
have
10
an
years-
issue with that either, though.
Yeah.
As long as
Yeah.
people are petitioning not for like things that are serious.
So you basically you're saying it's better if we have the lame Australian stuff, but then the counterculture stuff is the stuff that is actually Australian, but it would just never become official.
Yeah, I
It's better
think
if it
so.
doesn't become official.
I think there's a problem when you try to make it official because
Yeah.
like didn't they try to do a public survey as to like when the Queen died, what should be on our bills, and people were just like random shit like put Paul Hogan, and they're like, but he's not even an Australian icon. It's like, but that's the joke.
Yeah,
And there's like
He's an
100,000
Australian
signatures
icon.
for
He
that.
is.
He's an Australian.
No, you're
Yes, he
right.
No,
is.
he's not.
Yes, he is.
What has he ever done for Australia?
Hang on,
Crocodile
are they-
Dundee.
Is this? They're not fucking putting King Charles on the $5 bill.
No, they
I think
are.
they might not.
What, I thought they already
Unbelievable.
I don't know.
aren't they changing the coins? Haven't they already done that? Changed it to
Dude, who
Yeah, who uses
who
coins?
uses
That's true.
cash and coins
Yeah.
anymore?
Yeah,
Maybe
don't
they
even know.
have.
Good old
Yeah.
coins.
So what are they going to replace it with?
I don't know. I think it's just like they're moving towards a cashless society so they don't give a fuck.
Fuck.
right.
Not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Don't care for it.
Legal tender.
This is legal tender.
This is
Yeah.
just the most boomer man in the world.
It's legal tender, you know.
Well, official.
I like my bonds on paper. Thank you very
And
much.
on me ass.
And I keep them in there,
Me,
right where they should be.
in me
I don't
bon-
trust
in me
banks.
bon undies. Nah, it's a wild world. That's what I reckon.
Legal tender's a weird one because it like. Do you agree that we should go cashless? Because it seems
No, dude.
what seems like I agree, but
So that's
it
my
does-
take.
It does seem a little
Hell
bit
no.
logical because I mean we're all paying with cards and things like that, so we should probably still have it. But I guess there's not really much.
The
necessity
rationale
it, is
for
it?
the government is they've actually looked at India's like an example that a lot of countries use. So one of the advantages of being cashless is because all of your money is in banks, you can reinvest that money as opposed to legal cash, which is just like idle sitting maybe in your closet or whatever. Whatever money you have in your bank is technically not there because they're just investing it in different places. And when you ask for it, they give it to you.
Also, like, dude, if cash goes away, touring artists, goodbye merchandise ticket sales. Like, a lot of people, like,
You can use an FPOS
I know,
machine.
but
You use an FPOS machine for
yeah,
work.
like, as I'm saying, I'm like, meh. Some people pay with cash.
How could you get this wrong when this is literally your job?
Some people
you
pay
hold
with
an
cash.
FPOS machine
We prefer
and
cash.
sell merch.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. We prefer cash.
I do like it though. Like I do like the move from electronic to electronic banking because I'm sick of all these like small ethnic businesses going like cash only.
That's true too.
Fuck you, pay tax.
They're not paying taxes. Yeah. Hey, but our criminals need representation too. All right.
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
other
it's
ways
actually
to wash
illegal
money
now.
electronically. It's easier.
It's
Yeah.
actually illegal
What?
to do that now.
Yeah. No shit.
But you know what's also illegal, which you probably see a lot, is you know when you go to certain places and they say, oh, if it's under a certain amount, it'll be extra 50 cents or something.
Yeah. That's illegal.
That's illegal.
Those
Really?
bastards.
You're not
You know
allowed
what?
to do that.
So if you call the police when you do that,
They might not do anything.
Call the
about it.
call.
There's going to be a lot of phone calls
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Silver
yeah,
Lake and
yeah.
Erskineville soon.
Damn.
yeah.
Did you want to talk about how expensive Coles was? We can.
Nah, look, that boat has sailed.
Let's add our 2 cents. It's too expensive.
We're overtime, but we had another segment that we could do. Reddit stories.
oh
Anyone saying?
shit! Well, that's like old school.
All right, how
down.
about this? I'll read 3 headlines and you choose which one you want me to read.
I guess.
Okay.
Are there still people listening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah. Are they
You'd
commenting
be
and shit?
surprised how many lonely people
Are they
there in the
commenting?
world.
Yeah, they are. They
It's
are.
been
They're
so-
telling you to get a fucking square machine, miss.
We have one.
Miss buy a square.
We have
miss buy a
one.
square device. You doofus.
I just think cash is romantic. All right.
Yeah, I know.
And some people are saying cash is good. So whatever. You've got some supporters as well. Okay, the 3 headlines are: first one, McDonald's at 3 a.m. served me a burger with a side of weed. That or 5-minute sex. And the third one is I put toothpaste on my ass.
Well, I think we know what the winner is.
I'm gonna let you guys decide.
They're all good to you, are they?
They're all equally fucking dumb to me. So I'm just like, whatever.
Pick one.
I'm intrigued by the toothpaste one.
Me too.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Let's
do that.
So when I was in college, I was doing my A-levels exams, and I was severely stressed. I'd practically torture myself to force myself to revise by not letting myself pee or eat until done a full 90 minutes with a 30-minute break in between. Anyway, I did this for 3 weeks, and once night, I went to bed and woke up about 6 hours later to a super strong smell of peppermint toothpaste. I got up, my ass stuck to my bed sheet. When I pulled away, there was toothpaste all over my bed and my ass. I went to the bathroom, and there was toothpaste on the walls, the toilet, the sink, and my hands, which I hadn't noticed in my room. Apparently, I'd been sleepwalking as a stress reaction and Picasso'd my own ass and bathroom wall with red, white, and blue peppermint toothpaste. My
What a
family
dumb
and I
story.
still laugh about it.
That sounds made up.
This dude's grammar sucks, so he wasn't really paying that much
Well,
attention.
I believe he did it, but I don't believe he was sleepwalking. I think he might have done that consciously, being like, "This will be a funny story to tell."
Totally.
Oh,
This is
wow.
my.
He's probably telling the truth.
This
I
is
shouldn't
my
have said
time to shine.
Yeah. I'm sure it's real.
You know, it'd be even
It's very-
sadder if he just made that up and was just like, "Yes, I believe this subreddit will enjoy this."
Which is probably what happened.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, but I
bet
liked
he's
it,
probably never even brushed his teeth.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Or maybe that's what he does. He does just use it as like some kind of thing for cleaning his anus.
It probably worked too. It'd probably be nice and.
Oh yeah, it'd
empty.
work.
Yeah.
Do you
But at
guys
what cost?
sleepwalk or talk in your sleep?
I talk.
Apparently, I talk a little bit.
Oh, both of you.
Sometimes, very rarely. Yeah.
Yeah, I talk sometimes. I have sleepwalked.
Seen
I
of a
pissed in my
troubled
brother's
mind.
room once.
You pissed in your brother's room.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I pissed in his like wardrobe all over his toys. Thought it was
You want to hear
cute.
something fucked? I
King.
pissed in my brother's mouth once.
Oh!
Were you
Awesome.
sleepwalking?
No, we were kids. We were both awake.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
He was just being a dick, and he was like, "Oh, you wouldn't do it. You don't dare. Here, my mouth's open. Try it."
And you fucking did it!
And the aim was like,
Oh
on.
my god!
Yeah.
Oh,
How old were you?
I was probably
25.
5.
Oh my
he was
God.
probably like 8, 9.
Dude, and he was 9? That's insane. That's an insane story, dude. That's
He's still traumatized.
awesome.
He doesn't want to bring it up.
No
ever.
shit. Which brother? Which brother?
Son.
The older one.
Yeah.
So you tried to bring it up. You said, "Do you remember that time?"
Surely he beat the shit out of you,
because
right?
for me it's not embarrassing.
That
for me
is
it's a joke.
good
but like to
aim,
him
dude.
it's like
Good
shut
aim.
the fuck up.
Did he beat you?
No, he just went. He started crying and went to Mo.
How did you get to that position too? You're just both walking around naked and he's like, don't.
No, I
piss
wasn't
in-
even naked. We were both clothed. He was, and I just pulled my shorts down
Yeah.
Instead of-
and I
piss in
pissed
your
in his mouth. And it was like it was a fair bit of distance too.
That is insane.
I like that.
It's way better than the Reddit story.
Yeah, that is way
that
better.
is-
That is way
So
better.
much better.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Especially things that didn't happen
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know that.
that happened.
Yeah.
That genuinely
And I'm
happened.
so glad you own it to this day.
Oh
That's
yeah,
incredible.
100%.
Do you have siblings?
I've got a half brother, yes, but he was much older than me, so it was. I think he'd agree too. He felt more like uncle-y. So he was like,
Yeah,
uncle, half brother.
yeah.
But no pissing. No mouth
No.
pissing, no.
I've never heard anyone
Damn.
pissing. That's
5-year-old
amazing,
pissing
Ollie.
in a
That's
28-year-old's
amazing.
man.
He's not 28. He was 9.
It's still
No,
pretty
that
old.
one.
Oh, yeah.
I think that happens a lot too. It's just a different story.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
in
yeah,
clubs,
yeah.
though, in behind closed doors.
Yes.
So you ever talk to him or what?
Is that
The guy that you pissed in the mouth of. What's his name? No.
me?
The half brother.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I
Talk
mean,
to-
I said I only said the uncle thing because of the age difference. Yeah, he's still.
Does he go up to you and
course,
be
yeah.
like, "Do you need anyone on the show? I can help you with the show."
Maybe I don't think that there's been
Shows.
that. There has been. They just asked
Oh.
me to get a Funko Pop for my nephew that I had to bring back from America. I just brought Geordie saw it. I had to bring a suitcase from Melbourne when I flew here. It's empty except with a Funko Pop and a Prime.
is
And a prime drink.
Like, a Funko Pop toy.
Like one of those vinyl pop things.
They wanted me
Big
to get
heads.
an American. Well, they bought it and it got sent to my American address. It was an exclusive American Funko Pop, so I brought it back from America
For a present.
for a present.
Nice.
Yes, so he's gonna get a nice American Funko Pop and a Prime. My neighbor, I told you
Prime.
before, my mum's at my mum's house, the neighbor's son wanted an exclusive American Prime drink. You know that drink?
Yeah.
I had to
Like
get
the
it for
Logan
him.
Paul one, right?
Yeah, I bought like a $50 like rare Prime, and I
Whoa.
brought it all the way from America, and I couldn't check it in on the plane, so my suitcase has one Prime and a Funko Pop.
Dude, that's the most like Hollywood shit I've ever heard.
so
Just flying out with a bottle of
incredible.
Prime.
What else do you need, man?
Hey, do you get a lot of family members and friends wanting to be like characters on your animations?
Not really. I think maybe after a few drinks, they'd say that and then regret it later. But I've probably been asked. Like, you mean do voices?
Yeah, voices.
Yeah, I think that I probably have had that asked.
Just
no, but
one.
You know what? No,
Just
I don't
one.
think so.
This guy.
Yeah.
I loved Koala Man, man. And
Man,
he
I
killed
loved it
it.
too,
I
yeah.
loved it. I loved it. And I
Koala
thought-
Man was sick.
and I thought
I
Jordan
liked the
did-
fact that Koala Man like introduced, it was the exact opposite of a Joe Rogan podcast. It gave them some fucking education about what this country.
Yeah, man, you
about.
really nailed it. You
Yeah.
nailed like the attitude and the sort of like the vibe of Australia. I
I
think
would
you
say
did so
I had a
well.
lot of help with that. Dan and Benji were the showrunners on that and had a good team.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So like, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to make that show by myself. I make a thing like Siggy Butt Brain, and then I'm known for one thing.
Also
like that.
amazing.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Also
but like not a
fucking
full,
fantastic.
like just hard to turn that into.
No, I get it.
yeah.
But Koala Man was so good.
Oh, you
'cause,
reckon
like,
you couldn't turn that into a show?
I mean, like
Skits
you
make like
could-
short ones, maybe shorts.
Yeah. I'm making a few more shorts right now. It's just a bit hard. Like it is hard. It's hard. This
You know,
stuff's hard.
it would.
for
You know what would be cool about Seabird Brains if you did a show and it was shorts and each episode was like nearly identical, but like the end is different.
Right.
I think that'd be hilarious. Like because that's kind of a meta joke in itself. It's like like literally the same. It's just like,
Well, it's because it's their fucking lives.
but that's what I
They
mean. That
do
could be
fucking
pretty
anything.
good, right? I don't know.
I do wish I jumped on a little bit more. I think it was the contrarian something in me. Like when Siggy Butt Brain came out and it got some success, like right after I was like, I don't want to do anymore. 'cause
Yeah, I get that.
It's
Yeah.
such a stupid
happens.
young.
It
It's a young
happens.
because it's like if I made it today, I would have been like, oh, I can see what I can.
Yeah.
I can make T-shirts and.
Yeah,
I would have had a better
totally.
strategy, but when it came out, I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna do something different now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do the opposite."
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's okay. but-
Stick death or something.
yeah.
was the Koala Man character based on a real person?
I think it's a little bit of like Rhys Darby from Flight of the Conchords meets like just an Aussie, maybe some amalgamation of some different people I've
You've
met
met
throughout my
in your
life.
life.
Just
Yeah.
that stickler for the rules.
It
Like,
had that feeling. Like you could tell, like, everyone could tell that they know that guy.
yeah, I guess the
Not everyone.
you
I
can't
guess
do
it's
that.
certain.
kind
No,
of
no,
guy.
totally,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you. That's nice of you to
No, it
say.
was great, dude. I loved
Yeah.
it. But while I was watching it, I was like, I feel like this show is made for me and me
Yeah.
only. Like, I was wondering like how the American audience is gonna enjoy it. Like, would they? Because they wouldn't understand the nuances that you
Yeah.
were putting in.
Yeah.
But I really liked
Well,
it.
thank you.
Yeah.
Me
Thank
too,
you.
bro.
Oh, I
Loved
appreciate
it.
it. And Shorty did a good job doing the voice.
He did really good.
Was
yeah.
that annoying that I had to get you to go to the studio all the time? I remember we had to do pickups all the time. I was like, fuck, you just.
No, it was the first time in my life I felt like I had a job.
Oh.
It
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah.
Dude, he was
I liked
hoping.
it.
This is the fucking thing. At the time when he was doing that voice, he was just frustrated with like the normal work that he was doing, and he was saying, "I wish I could just be one of those Simpsons characters that like has their life set. They get millions of dollars, and I think Koala Man might do that
Oh.
for me."
No, I never said that. For Christ's
You
sake.
implied it.
I said I wish I was a voice actor.
You are a
That's
voice
true.
actor.
I wish I was a
You're
voice.
Australia's.
That's a fucking amazing
You are
job.
Australia's Harry Shearer, as far as I'm
Don't
concerned.
know who that
Who's
is.
that?
It's Mr. Burns and Smithers.
Oh, that guy.
And, does a billion voices on The Simpsons.
A billion, does he?
Well, he's one of those ones that you would just say like is set up from
Yeah.
The Simpsons now.
Yeah, he does Burns and Smithers.
Burns and Smithers.
Yeah,
He does Otto. And that's not a good Otto, but he does Otto. He does anything like Husky in The
Yeah.
Simpsons usually.
No, I'm always. Your range of voice is incredible. Yours is very good. Just don't think that there's many people that can. It's really weird. I don't know.
Like
I feel
you.
like I've got like a natural ability. Miss Love's good at it as well. Some people just have this weird natural range that for whatever, I wouldn't be ever able to teach it. It's like those people that are like, can you do this with your tongue? You're like, no. It's just that.
Primary school shit.
Yeah.
This is primary school shit.
I think it would be an amazing job too. Hey,
that's the only thing that I regret about living in America. I just feel like
living in America. You mean
or
not
like
living
being
in
born in America? I just feel like there'd just be like you get so much more opportunity for being so much less good at everything. I swear that's the feeling.
Back in the day, now internet, does it really matter? Does it?
I don't know.
True,
Does it?
maybe.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Maybe it
I
does.
don't know either.
Me neither.
It matters if you want to if you want to work on something that requires like 100 people like Koala Man does.
Yeah, right.
Then it would matter.
Yeah.
Plus, the internet's so saturated now; it's almost like back to a level playing field. I feel
It is. It had a peak. Like I was pretty lucky with the cartoons, like that I made in like the early 2010s. That was a
golden era.
Yeah, there was a golden era of animation. And a lot of my friends that do animation, like Zach on Smiling Friends, had that same level of success. And that what's that?
Ride. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it was like a perfect era. Right now, you're right though. It's
strange.
It's kind of plateaued a little bit.
Is Smiley Friends? How many? It's a few seasons.
2 seasons.
2 seasons.
And now you're doing the third.
Oh, so
yeah. Are you up to the third?
We just started writing the third.
Oh, you're just writing it.
Yeah.
Season 2 is about to come out.
Sick, dude.
One episode.
One
just
episode.
came out.
And what platforms? I watched some of it. The first season.
Well, there's many platforms.
There's
that are
many
just
platforms.
illegal.
Amazon Prime, Pirate Bay.
Yeah, Pirate Bay's a big one. It's very popular.
I think
Amazon. Yeah,
Amazon
sick,
Prime, I think
sick.
Apple TV. I think.
Right.
In America, it's HBO Max, but for whatever reason, that doesn't exist here.
Right.
Yeah, why doesn't that exist?
I don't know.
Because HBO doesn't exist. So how can you have Max? It's like just Pepsi Max existing.
Well, actually, it's just called Max now. They
Just called Max.
They got rid of the
I
HBO.
heard that the Conan interview. He was like, "I'm not calling it Max."
Yeah, it's just Max. Which is bizarre because HBO is such good branding. I think they just want it cool and simple and Silicon
Max,
Valley
that
sounding.
sucks.
Who's
That's
the biggest
stupid.
person you've ever met?
Probably Hugh Jackman.
Whoa! Oh, because he was on the show.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
on the show.
So he's
How
the
was
biggest.
he?
He's very, very cool. Like very,
Did he have a strong handshake? Bet he did.
yeah. I mean, I can't remember, but yeah, it probably was strong.
he
I would
actually
have
that
remembered if
nice?
it was weak.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Is he actually that nice in real
Oh
life?
yeah,
Yeah, you can
absolutely.
tell.
Yes,
You can
like
tell.
there's
Legit.
a reason those people get to the. Like you just have to be really good looking and really nice, and you're gonna get success. Not to say that's all he has, but
No, it's a big part of it. Let's be honest.
on Koala Man, he came in and like it was the day Shane Warne died. So like
shit.
me and Meg, on Koala Man, I had someone helping on these calls named Meg, and we were just there talking about Shane Warne. Like, oh my god, he died. Like I just saw too. And then Hugh Jackman joined like the Google Meet or Zoom, and we didn't know it was him at first. It was just like an Australian accent, and was like, "Yeah, I know. Are you talking about Shane Warne?" We're like, "Yeah." He's like, "I know. I just saw too." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." It's like, "Yeah, that sucks."
I think they were friends too.
Yeah, and it was like, "Yeah, we're just talking like 2 minutes, just as anyone were talking." He was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, sorry, yeah, I'm Hugh Jackman." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Oh, hello, sorry." He was just, but like the point with that is he was just like nice and casual.
Yeah. He doesn't. He
Super
didn't
bad.
come in and just be like,
All right,
stare.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or like,
yeah.
you can imagine.
He just was up for the chat, and
Is that an Aussie thing?
I think so. I mean, also he's very. I think it's probably not all Aussies. He's just particularly.
He's
Yeah.
apparently the nicest fucking
He's
bloke.
very
He
nice,
seems
very
like
cool.
it,
Yeah.
apparently But that's rad, dude.
Like just even when I auditioned him for Koala Man, a lot of other
You
actors.
auditioned him for Koala Man?
Well, sorry, not auditioned. Went out for the offer. God, went out for the offer for him.
Okay.
Can you imagine if you're like, it's not going to work
Yeah, it's
out?
like,
Oh, we
I don't know.
need to test this,
Yeah.
Hugh.
Yeah.
The last movie was kind of trash. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, no, but we did some like I think I did a Zoom call with him just one on one, and it was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Mike, just call how's it going? Love the cartoon. My kids love Damo and Darren. I'd love to do a voice." And he even said like, is it alright like if I can mimic stuff that you do too sometimes? Because like I get like a bit like I don't know if it's good. And I was like, yeah. Basically, it was just like acting like a just normal person. But he's not like an alien. He's like a normal person. That's crazy. I sound like
No,
a
but he does seem like that. I
sound
can
like
tell
a
you right
fucking
now.
idiot.
No, you don't. I can tell you right now, Russell Crowe wouldn't be the same experience.
Yeah,
You just
maybe
feel
not.
like, who the fuck are you? You want to be a voice? Beep, beep. That'd be, and I met Russell Crowe.
Actually, that's another question. Is there any other Aussie celebrity that didn't want to do
Sure.
it?
Who
that
did-
you
Not if
approached?
you're in a bar.
No.
Yeah.
Who didn't want to do it?
wanna
I
snort
actually
coke, you'll
can't
be cool.
remember. Hugo Weaving, we did, and he was great too.
Was he great?
Yeah, he was. He's super friendly
Dude,
too.
please tell me when you met him, you were just like, Mr. Anderson.
I'd be too scared. In fact,
Dude.
That's what I would have done. I said anything like this until he responded. Just going,
I didn't get that close to him. Like,
Man, and then he just starts glitching.
and then I just put on like, fucking like
one.
a cafe in Redford.
Miss Love saves the day yet again.
Just cuts to me fucking overdosing on PCP in the corner.
And that's how I met Hugh Jack.
oh, this is a good meeting story. That's better than mine.
No, you didn't meet him?
Oh, well, Hugo Weaving? No, I just directed him on the vocal. I don't even think he knew my name.
Right,
It was
right.
still very nice.
Wait, was he on Koala?
He was. Yeah, he did some miscellaneous voices.
I didn't even know
Emu.
that.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't I informed?
He did like the Emu King.
You could tell.
Yeah.
Fuck's
You
sake.
could tell.
He was.
It was either that or a voice actor putting on his voice.
Yes. Oh, well, thanks for complimenting my cartoons. I appreciate that, guy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they're some of the only fucking cartoons that are worthy of praise.
Dude,
I honestly think that.
you should be proud. You should be fucking proud.
I'm that annoying artist kind of guy that doesn't really like everything I've done. So I'm always a little bit. I'm a.
Yeah, but that's why it's good.
That's the sign of a
That's
good
why,
artist.
because it's, everyone else is just like, it's mad because
Exactly.
my mum told me when I was young that I'm special.
Yeah.
But
that's
like
why.
the reason I'm saying like I promise I'll make some good future
fuck
good
is that?
cartoons too. Some better
Monster
ones.
Corner.
Oh, Monster
right.
Corner.
That's all right, you can
Maybe
let
we
it
should
in.
like call it a night.
Yeah.
I mean,
I had a
for
this
great
part,
time
yeah.
with you guys talking.
Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This
I want to talk more about Silver Lake. No, it's fine.
like and like Panadol.
We'll talk off air, and you can tell me of nice places to visit.
Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jordan's. He's got his work mate.
We'll
But
get
yeah,
Jordan to sign off.
Is that like, you get an Amazon package?
No,
really a
it's
work mate.
yeah,
No,
close
it is.
enough.
It is a work mate. Yeah. But I was gonna.
Now the real work happens. We're going to promo your show.
You didn't open the fuck. I was gonna say, man, if you wanted to like, as a sign off, like what anything to promote, but I guess we've been talking about it. But if you want to, I don't know.
I mean, I'm starting a new boutique company called Cusack Creatures, which is it's essentially what I've been doing for a while, where I've been making my own cartoons and working with production
Sick.
companies. But now I'm making it a bit more official, where I have some employees that help, and I can
Awesome.
delegate more. But yeah, generating more Damo and Darren's or other shorts like that for YouTube, but also in the TV world. Cusack Creatures. I've got that's my company. I've got Michael Cusack on Twitter, Michael R Cusack Twitter, Michael R Cusack on Instagram. That's it. I just started a TikTok. It's like really cringy.
Sick.
I've got about 200 followers.
Perfect.
That I think are following me just for the cringe material.
Hell yeah.
You're gonna get a follow from Friendly Geordie's TikTok very soon.
thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, that's
And
my
you'll-
plugging done.
and you'll be getting a really crap resume from me
Yeah.
very soon.
Yeah. Empty piece of paper.
You're gonna get it for, your,
Yeah,
for this
yeah,
new
yeah.
production company.
Yeah.
Red
It's going to
Center.
be redone. For once, put that tennis shop that you worked at. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm working and Smiling Friends, of course. Smiling Friends season 2 will be coming out May 12th, I think. So tune in.
Awesome.
So Gwembley, you'll see more. Ideally,
First episode
then.
was great.
Yeah, thank
Dude,
you.
hell.
It was all Zach. I come in and I just go, good job.
Well,
Sick.
Michael,
it's so
thank you
cool,
for
man.
coming on this podcast.
Thanks for like
You
reuniting.
are-
This is our first episode back this year, really. So
This
Yeah.
was actually really. I loved coming here. It's so casual and cool, and you guys are awesome.
Dude, you're so casual and cool.
Yeah.
You're a good.
don't change.
You're a good
Like
egg,
the
my
In Excess song says, "Don't change a thing for me."
And also,
You're no Gabe Borgano on the Up Late podcast, but
Yeah, no one's gonna match.
I was going
our
to get that joke.
mate.
But again, you would if you signed up to Patreon. But what is it universally described as the worst episode ever?
yeah, that's the guest that got hate.
Oh, okay.
some love, but mainly hate it probably.
Thank you for joining us. We really appreciated your patience. We have been on break, but we're back with a bang.